Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome to the health. No, this is not the health and wellness pod. This is Dr. Lewis on Identity Fridays. So welcome on board. Today I have a very triggering topic, and I hope it can actually end well. So all of you who are coming in, I welcome you on board. Thank you so much for taking some time to be here. Of course, it is a Friday, and you had options to be somewhere else doing some other things, but you decided, you know what, I have to be here, attend the Identity Fridays because I'm interested in fixing my identity. I salute you. I welcome on this board, and I say thank you so much for taking your precious time to be here. Of course, we shall not disappoint. You know how we do it. It's fixing identities. This is a channel that actually tells you or shows you how to actually overcome anger, how to overcome guilt, how to overcome loneliness, how to overcome false identities that have been imparted into us by our parents, by schools, by churches, and all that. So this is a life that is going to open up your head to a lot of things, and you deserve to be here. So salute yourself for coming in. And as you join in, allow me to say hi to you from wherever you're watching me from. So tell us where you're watching us from so that I can shout you out before we start this. This is Dr. Lewis Muchile Obunde, and it's always amazing to have all of you on board. Thank you so much. So as you join in, please remind me where you are. I want to shout out to people from your area zone. And do not forget to like the live and share it, because this is a home of healthcare. This is a home of identities. And I told you this, there are people who are not aware of this new channel. And no wonder this channel is bringing a lot of problems in the times of logging in. So for the sake of the new members who are actually coming in and they don't know that this channel exists, some of them are on the other channel, hoping that I can actually roll this live on the other channel. Be kind enough to share the live so that they can actually get to know that the live is happening on this other side of the world, this other side of heaven. So welcome on board. My people on TikTok, I see all of you. I see you. And I celebrate all of you for being here. I say hi to all of you. I see somebody from the USA. And then I see Nell from Narok. How is Narok, Nell? How are you, bro? Karibu sana. Willie, I see you. I see Princess. Hello. Winnie, I see you. Lord Kimani. From Rueru ndani. Patrick Njoroge from Banana. We talk about banana and we're talking about a male show. This one is going to be interesting. On YouTube, as always, people are logging in at an interesting rate today. I think people are somewhere taking two for the road. But we move. Javan Leo from Luanda. I see you, Javan. Luanda Mukari. Arenetiwe Andrew from Uganda. Kabale. Nialek Bunyonyi. I'm ready to listen, sir. Amazing. Hey, people from the nearness of the lake. People from Loyangalani, near Lake Turkana. Where are you? Nancy Wanja tuned in, waiting for the doctor to arrive. I'm here. At the sewer I rise. Spicy topic tonight. Yes, it's spicy but very, very triggering. And the topic of the night, for those of you who don't know, men in the building. If you are dating or you're married, are you dating your mother? Are you married to your mother? Yeah, are men dating and marrying their mothers? That's the topic of the night. Why do we have a lot of chaos in these relationships? Why do we have a lot of divorces? High chance of divorce every single time. Why is that so? Is it that men are marrying their mothers and end up being dominated? Why are there so much chaos in marriages nowadays? And why do we have a lot of weak men who are so emotional? They're just waiting for a chance to erupt. They're like a volcano. Nangoja tu kulipuka. Then they blame the people outside them. Rose Mbevi, I see you from Kansas Olave. Roslinda Nasuna, I see you. Jen Mwendo, I see you. Ready to learn. Kazungu Derek from Huisero. Umsiani. Aki Kelly, I see you. I see Kate Nduta from the city. That must be Nairobi, Kate. I see Sylvia Masoni. Amazing to have you here. Straight from Moyale. Inside Moyale. Karibu sana Sylvia. Anjuguna Gidhurai locked in. I see Agi Kelly tuned in from Maragua. Pricky Identity Fridays are just something else. Ivy from Kanairo. That is Nairobi for those of you who don't know Kanairo. The devil is and within. This is Levi Sauti. The devil and evil within. Yes. So next week we'll migrate to YouTube. If they close TikTok, relax. They can't. Even if they close TikTok, there's nothing that is going to happen. Already we have 2 TikTok accounts. We have this health and wellness spot that I'm rolling a live on. We have another TikTok account that is called Dr. Lewis Muchile. Oh, amazing. So we are not going anywhere. We are here to stay. On YouTube, I have 2 accounts. One is strictly for health matters. It's called Health and Wellness Spot, of course. And then I have this other channel on YouTube that is called Dr. Lewis. That is the YouTube channel that we are rolling this Friday lives on, Identity Fridays, and there is a reason why that is that way. Ready to Dr. Obunde say Tawe from Transami. Msiani Kanyarika Tawe. Amazing. Tuned in from Membli. Welcome on board. Membli in Ruiru. I see you Kazuri. Thank you so much for all of you joining in. Now I think I should start this directly because we have a lot of time, and I hope people on TikTok, you can actually allow us to have a conversation with you if you have a question and you know how we do it. I see Simati County 038, that is Vihiga County, Uvendi. Sesk, I see you. I'm in today. Betty A, I see you. Jonas Bet, I see you. Nerima Onganga, I see you. Rachel Lavenda, amazing to see you from Busia. Omuyae Wengo Kazi Safi, asante sana Shade. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, there is a crop of very weak men and very angry women out here. We've said this multiple times. And please, if you want this conversation, please do not be so active in the comment section. Be active in the liking because we want the video to reach more people. And then be active in the sharing. Sorry. And then as you become active in the comment section or in the liking and the sharing, bring a conversation. The best thing you can do to us is to bring a conversation. Because through you bringing in a conversation, we get to address the issues. We address the issues. The problem is when you argue in the comment section, but you are not confident enough to bring on a conversation. We want to help you and learn some of the things. We want to actually talk to you so that somebody can actually learn from your story. So this is a very interactive session. Topic today, Doc. The topic is, are men marrying their mothers? Are men having multiple identities? Are they having false identities? Running away from their mothers because they resent their mothers, ending up attracting their mothers as women that they get married to. That is the topic of the day. Why are most men so attracted to women who portray the same qualities as their mothers? And you've heard men say, I want a woman who cooks just like my mother. You've heard that, right? You've seen men in a car. They can't even stop their wife and their mother from fighting to sit in the front seat. You've seen that, right? And you've seen mothers moving from the villages, coming to sit and settle in the urban centers where their sons are. And they become so chaotic. The household cannot be entertained anymore because, you know what? The woman of the village is now here. She is here and we cannot do anything about it. So men are constantly chasing the love of their mothers. And they end up attracting their mothers in relationships. That's why they still think that mothers can actually, their women can actually provide for them. Think they can actually share 50-50. So we're going to address that issue. We're going to find out if it's true. And if it's true, what is actually coming in to bring this problem. So welcome on board. Joab Obog is in the building. Jay Opende, I see you. Ludo Mudoni, Mudobi, I see you. Welcome on board. It's like vomiting and eating your vomit. Aye, guys, come guns blazing. So listen to this. We've talked about how men are being feminized, how men are becoming more weak by day. We are live on YouTube. Yes, it's Dr. Lewis YouTube. It's not Health and Wellness Sport. Go on YouTube and Dr. Lewis on YouTube. We are live on the second channel or the backup channel on YouTube. So listen. So more of the crop of the men that are actually coming in nowadays, they are so weak. More men are so weak because I want you to know that in a man's life, the first woman is the mother. Do not get it twisted. The first woman in a man's life is the mother. And I believe that is where more problems are coming in. And when I tell you, You've heard people saying an emotional man is a woman. It is very true. The reality is this: women are designed to be emotional. It's okay, and it's the role of a man to actually stabilize the emotions that are actually coming from a woman. Understand that your father's role, the number one role of a father, is to make sure that their children are actually protected from the emotions that are coming from their mothers. So women are naturally very emotional. They are born to nurture. Okay? But the most interesting part is women don't have love for men. Women don't have love for men. Women are designed to only love the products of their womb. That is the only, you call it true love. I don't call it true love or false love. I call it just love because it's just one. So women are designed to love products of their own womb. However, the same women who are good at nurturing, who are good at being emotional in terms of just caring for the children, are the same women who have a lot of time in nurturing a boy. Most of the times I ask women who tell me, I'm a single mother, I ask them, how then will you raise this son from being a boy into being a man? And then most of them will laugh. When they laugh, I realize this question has actually hit hard. Because it's very hard for a woman to raise a boy or a son from being a boy or a male into being a man. Because of the emotional nature of a woman. Listen, men and boys don't like that pressure. They don't like those emotions. And I'll tell you this for free. You've seen, if you're a woman raising a child or a son, if you try to punish this son or you try to shout at this son, there's a time this guy will come and tell you, you know what, I don't like you shouting at me. Mi sipendi kelele. So your son will tell you that outright. I don't like noise. But you will ignore. And of course, you're not ignoring because you want to. You're ignoring because you are built to be emotional. When you're angry, you have to shout. When you're in love, you have to nurture and be caring. But these sons don't love this. When you shout at them, they don't love it. That is where the resentment starts. So you see, by the time he's telling you, I don't like you shouting at me, mother. They call you mom, right? Mom. Because they don't know how to call you mother. They are afraid of you. So you shout at them, they feel bad about it, they try to express it, but because they are in a fallen state, they don't know what they are doing, so they think that that's the right way of nurturing them. And women are designed in a funny way, because those of you who are in abusive relationships, they know, physically abusive relationship, they know, if you're a woman and a man slaps you today, and slaps you tomorrow, there's a way you adapt to that slap. The following day, this man will have to hit you hard with a fist. Atakupiga ngumi. So there's a way you adapt to these things. And this is the exact thing that happens. So you shout at this child, and tomorrow you shout even louder. And as you do that, you're actually doing it with best intentions of raising him into being a man, which you don't know. Now, this son starts to resent you. When they resent you, of course, they tap into your character. They tap into your identity. Now they've become you, a mini you. And women, they raise children to avoid mistakes that they have done. I repeat, a woman will raise a child, either a daughter or son, in a way that she will model her to avoid the mistakes that she has done. Because to her, in her head, she still thinks that she can be judged by her past. So she thinks if the son or the daughter avoids what she did in the past, they become superhumans. It is a lie. It is a lie. You don't have a past. So why are you thinking people will judge you because of your past? You don't have a past. That is one. Now, these same women who are emotional, who are angry, remember, let's start from top, right? Our fathers and our mothers did not know God. They knew about God because they were taught in church, they read the Bible, they read the Quran, they went to all these religious places to worship. So they knew about God because they've been taught about God. The only problem is when you are taught about God, the same person who taught you about God imparts a false identity in you. Why? Because every child is born on the path of God. Is born with the Spirit of God inside them. Is born with the light and the heaven inside them. That's why the scriptures tell you that the kingdom is inside you. So a child is born with the scripture. A child is born with the kingdom and light. And remember, we are just spirits. This physical that you see, the body that you see, a physical body, is an expression of what is inside you. So you are a product of the spirit. You are not your body. You are a spirit. So that spirit that lives inside you is the one that actually controls you. So Our fathers and our mothers did not know God. So our fathers did not understand that there's an order. Of course, there are those who understood. I'm not saying all of them didn't, but there are those who understood the order of God, that God above men, men above women, and women above children. That is the order of God. And through that same order, love flows. So love flows from God to the man, from the woman to the woman, and from the woman to the children. Amazing story. Now understand this. If there is no man, chances of having love in that family is actually zero. And the weird part is, most marriages, they have male, I'll use the word male, and then women. So when you are a male, there's no way you can know God, because you've drifted apart. A man is somebody who loves God with all his heart and might and nothing else, and understands through loving God, everything else shall be added unto him. That is a man. A man is not that person who you think will provide and protect and all that. No, a man is somebody who loves God with all his heart and might, and everything else he knows will be added unto him. So even if, let's redo that. So even if everything happens in the wrong way, he will see it, he will not hate it, he will discern it, and he will take order. Now, listen to this. If you understand that order, that means you know God. So you know very well that a woman cannot provide for a man. You will know very well that there is no way a man who is younger than that woman will get married to that woman, or will marry that woman. It is against nature, and it is impossible. Now, some of you will tell me, you know what, there is a gospel artist who is doing very well and is married to an older woman. And I'm like, okay, keep singing. And you will see, when I discuss this topic in depth, you will see where the identity issues are coming in. You might be the best singer ever. You might be the best pianist, but you don't have an identity. You know about God, you are in it of the intellect, but you don't have common sense. Common sense dictates that love has to flow from God to the man, from the man to the woman, and the woman to the children. The other way around is respect and submission. Hello? The other way around is respect and submission. So this goes to the women who tell me, I love my man. There's no way you can love your man. And actually, when you say those words, you start making men to think that women are supposed to love them. Now look, our fathers did not know God. They didn't understand the order of God. So that some of them shared bills with the woman. And the women became so angry at them because they did not stand up. Because women are longing for the stoic men who know God, men who understand that order, and men who will provide exclusively. When they provide exclusively, women will fall into their own shape. Women will submit and respect automatically. You will not have to push a woman to submit. But the problem is, we have weak men who think they can actually shout for a woman to submit. Where is that coming from? Any man who has emotions is of the nature of the woman. Any man who shouts at a woman is of the nature of the woman. And why? It's because your father did not know God, your mother became angry at him, and then the children became messed up, because a house that doesn't have God does not have love. All they have is anger and the need to destroy, because a heart that has anger does not know love. It knows the devil. So, and the spirit that lives inside you controls you. So the anger that is inside you is actually the one that is controlling you. As a man, as a male. And now, because of the insecurities that you cannot provide, you cannot protect, you're physically unfit, you start portraying or deflecting this anger to the woman. And the woman takes this, absorbs it, becomes angry at you, and portrays this anger to the child, because there's nothing she can do. Now, as they portray this anger to the child, because that's the only thing they can control at this moment in time, the children start to resent them, and they become just like the woman. They become very emotional, they become very chaotic, they become super angry, and guess what? They will attract who they are. So from within, they attract who they are. Now we can talk about this topic over and over. We can mention the LGBTQ. We can mention how schools, the initial settings of a school, when a child gets into a school, the preliminary, the settings, nursery and all that, the kindergartens, all these schools are actually hiring women. A lot of feminine energy coming into the sons. So we can talk about all those things. We can talk about the diets and the sedentarism and the alcoholism and the regulations and the rules, the media, all these things that are actually weakening the man. But the real case scenario is, without strong men who know God, these things will actually kill us. So the reality is this: our fathers did not know God, our mothers became angry at them, and they portrayed this anger in the children, and now these children started to resent their mothers. They became just like their mothers: angry, chaotic, emotional, and very lonely. And now, imagine if this is a son, very angry just like the mother, running away from the mother because they resent the mothers. And guess what? Whatever you're running away from, you end up attracting. It is a simple rule. The energy that you're constantly running away from, you will attract it, and for a reason. And the reason is, you are running away from your mother, but inside you, you have the identity of your mother. And whatever you are, you attract, because the energy that you portray from inside you is what you attract. You end up attracting your mother just in a different body. And the problem comes in this way. Because your mother taught you that, she pushed into you that you think she loves you and all that, you believe that women are supposed to love. So most men out here are actually looking for mama's love. As they try to find a mate, or as they try to find somebody to live or to do life with, they are constantly looking for their mothers. You will hear them telling you, you know what, I'm looking for a woman who can actually cook like my mother. That is a form of resentment, the highest form of resentment. Because you simply have an identity of your mother. You'll hear them telling you, oh, you know what, I want a woman who will treat me just the same way my mother treats my father. Lack of identities. So now in every woman they are scanning their mothers. In every woman they are scanning their mothers. And you know what? Because women don't have love for men, and this woman is looking for love from a woman cannot offer a man love. They can only offer respect and submission. So now this man is constantly looking for love in every woman, looking for mama. Mama. I just want to hang on, mama. So you're looking for mama in every relationship that you're getting in. And every relationship becomes chaotic, because if an emotional man gets into a relationship with a woman, those are two women in a relationship. Is that not the umbrella? Hello? Is that not the umbrella? Anyway, then the two of them are seated here judging the other lesbian couple from the other side. Oh, those guys are evil, they don't know God. But here we have two people who are actually of the same gender, they just don't know. Man shouts at the woman shouts back. Everybody is irritating each other. The woman is like kifua nje, nipige. And the man is like, anita kuua. Identities of their mothers. And now imagine that relationship, and then your mother, because she has dominated you all over, in your mind, in your heart, you have her identity. She comes into the urban setup where you live. Imagine the drama. And you as the weak man here, you can't do anything about it. You can't even separate the issues here. You can't even send your mother back to the village. No, you don't want to, do you? You are afraid of your mother. So you are so resentful of your mother, you are even unable to correct her. And listen to me carefully, men. Listen to me, because we fix the men, we fix the women, we fix the children. Listen to me carefully. Every woman in your life, be it your grandmother, your mama, or your child, they behave the same way. They behave along an emotional wavelength. They want a stoic man to actually tell them no. They want a strong man to actually guide them and lead them. So regardless of who you are, whether you are the grandson or the son or the husband, the woman will behave to you the same way, because masculine energy and feminine energy behave the same way, regardless of her status. I'm telling you the truth. If you are the man, they will all respect and submit to you. The problem is, you want to be weak, and in your weakness, you want them to submit. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You will shout at that woman, and she adapts to your shouting. Now you'll have to slap her. And you know very well how effeminate our judicial system is. Oh, my friend, you utakula maharagwe. Well, you will eat weevils. Yeah. So this is the reality. The reality is, every single woman is interested in that stoic man. And they are very few. The problem is, men are so afraid of even telling women the truth. They are afraid of even correcting their women. They can't tell a woman, I don't like this, I don't want this. Please do this, kindly do this. They can't. Why? Because they resent their mothers. And that was the first woman in their lives. So they resented the woman, they become just like her. And now as they run away, they are constantly trying to look for mama's love in every woman. It is not going to work. And then, every single time as problems happen, you're busy blaming the external factors. You're blaming your woman, you're blaming your mother for she wanted you to marry this, you're blaming this, or you're blaming everything apart from yourself. Because you know what? You are in a fallen state, so you don't even know you're doing the wrong thing. You've never seen light. Every son is born with the spirit of light inside them. And that spirit guides them because they know very well they are just a product of what is inside them. This is just a body that covers the spirit that is inside them. So now, you're born with that light, it guides you through life. And as it guides you through light, it will show you, this is the wrong one, do not hate it, discern it, and keep moving. Focus on you, focus on now. So the more we hate our mothers, the more we carry them all along our lives, and the more we get attracted to them. And I will tell you this. When I was this young guy, I used to roll conversations on phone with my mother for over 3 hours. We would call and talk for 3 hours straight. Oh man, I thought that was the best love. I thought that was love. I thought that was love. I call my mother, we speak, we laugh 3 hours straight. I'm like, hi, I love my mother. This is where you are. Constantly thinking you love your mother. Oh, you know what? My mother has done nothing wrong to me. I love her, my mother. By the time you're thinking of loving her, that you love her, the thought is an evil nature. It basically means you don't even love her. Because if you love her, you'll not tell her you love her. You'll just do what you have to do. She will not be in your head controlling you all the time. So I used to call her and we talk, we speak, we have all these conversations there and we laugh all through. And then on the contrary, when we have a conversation with my father, it's about 2 minutes. My father would call me and ask me, hey, uko salama? Hey, what is going on in school? And all that and blah, blah. Have a good evening. Chua, 1 minute. I started thinking, this mzee must be hating me. Mzee ananichukia sana. This man, imagine this is my father, but we cannot roll a conversation. So I kept on longing for my father. From inside me, I was longing for my father, but I thought this guy is resenting me. This guy does not want me. So I thought this guy hates me. And of course, sometimes mothers have this way of pulling a son's leg. They'll tell you, you know what, your father is, I'm in Tessa, I'm not feeling good. And that's why I've called you just to talk to you so that in talk. Oh, and you as the emotional son, because you have her identity, you buy that story. You start thinking, my father is crazy. This guy. But the only thing you're not thinking is, this same guy that your mother is complaining about has had her for 30 years and your mother didn't find a reason to leave. So who is the fool? So who is the fool here? Imagine. Same guy that your mother is complaining about she has been under this man for 30 good years. No complaints. He doesn't find any reason to leave. But she's here convincing, you know what, my son, because they have to push you and turn you against their fathers, against your father. Once they turn you against your father, that's how they control the fathers. And it's an innocent move, because women are always interested in controlling the man. That is very true. The man that they are dating or the man that they are in a relationship with or the one that they are married to, they always want to control something. So in their head, they're always thinking of ways to actually get to that level. But they have two ways to control a man. The first way is through sex. So therefore, a man who does not ejaculate aimlessly knows that they have their woman under control, because now this woman will start asking you questions. Maybe I did not satisfy you. Have you had sex outside? So they start thinking all these things in their heads. And it's just natural that they do that. That's the reason why men should be strong, because men are the ones who actually stabilize the emotions and the chaos in a woman's head. It's only a man who can stabilize that. So now, that is one, through sex. And two is through turning the children against their biological fathers. When you turn a child against their biological father, it is an innocent move. And again, it's not you. It's the spirit that lives in you that controls you. So when you turn these children against their biological fathers, and how do you do it? You see, in the beginning, I've told you this before. When you get married as a woman, there's a lot of lavish things here. You're getting the flowers, you're getting the shoes, every day chocolates and all that. And then as the child comes in, the attention shifts from the father to the child. That is one of the things that women don't like. They will never admit it, but they know they don't like it. So once the attention shifts to the children, they feel like this attention is actually divided and whatever they were getting is not coming in. Now, they will have to find a way to make sure that that attention is coming back. And the only way is to make sure that they have all the attention from their children, from these children. Let me just fix this. So they have to make sure that they have all the attention from these children. It doesn't matter what they will do, because the organ is not, it's over them. They don't know they are doing it because they are in the fallen state. So they will do everything to make sure that they have all the attention from the children so that the father notices and gives them back the attention. But men cannot notice that because they're not emotional lovers. They're busy doing what they have to do. And this is the problem that comes in with men being attached to children. You see, your wife can tell your child to call you and tell you, know what, mommy is very sick. Or the child says, oh, baba, unajua shule tumepigiwa sijui nini nataka bag mpya. At that time, this child has the new bag. The woman bought a new bag already. But she just wants to pull a leg and see how far you are in terms of giving attention back. So they use children to actually make sure they get your attention. So through that, they actually impart their false identities in these children. They lie to children, no, you know what, your father is always out. You see, I'm the one who is always with you. I've struggled. And you know, women, you do these things. Most women do these things. Most evil women. Oh, you know, I've been the one who has been struggling with you and taking you to school. You've seen me suffering. You've seen your dad being harsh on me. Eh? And the children start to buy this idea because, of course, most of the times that they're being nurtured by the woman. And when that happens, these children end up adopting the identity of the woman and they turn away from their fathers, their biological fathers. Understand, a biological father is an earthly representation of God to a child. So if you turn these children against their fathers, you're turning them away from their earthly representation of God. Now these children will suffer until they get to overcome you and your false identity and go back and reunite with their biological fathers. They will suffer. And this is the reason why I tell single women or single mothers, they call themselves single mothers, they call them parents. There's nothing like a single mother. You're just a parent. The worst thing you can do to that son is, number one, to try and block them from having a connection with their biological fathers. Number two, to try and bring in that guy that you people call a stepfather. Higher. And worse enough, because the market is so dirty, we have a lot of weak men. So of course you'll end up bringing in a weak man. And now this man will want your attention. That means you will have to divide your attention between your son and this new man. That is where the son starts to resent you. And if you look keenly, sons raised by mothers have actually ended up destroying or killing or actually becoming so chaotic with their stepfathers. You call them stepfathers? There's nothing like a stepfather. Nowadays you call them step-in fathers, right? There's nothing like a stepfather. There's nothing like a stepfather. So as you think, oh, this one is coming in to step in, it's not a stepfather. There's just one father. And remember, these children will always long for their biological fathers. All of you know, we all long for our biological fathers. It is weird that I kept on longing for my biological father, yet he was present. You see the sign of weakness? He was present, but I kept on longing for him. And the weird part is, most times that we were being punished, our mothers are the ones who punished us. Oh, I used to long for my father to just punish me because my dad would give you 6 strokes and tell you never to do this again and you'll never do it again. But the punishment was not that much. My mother will beat you for 1 hour. Unalia mpaka machozi nakauka. She would beat you for 1 hour. And then she collects these mistakes, you know. You make a mistake today, she reserves it. You make tomorrow, she reserves it. So she will punish you one punishment for 9 mistakes. So she beats you a whole hour. And you're there crying and looking at your father to just protect you, but he's there just relaxed, maybe watching news and all that, with all that noise and crying. So I understand that most men did not understand the nature of God. They did not even know how to correct women, because it's a role of a father to say, hey, enough of the punishment now, please, let the son be, let the daughter be. You've punished enough. Because I remember, if your dad punished you today, you'll never do that mistake. Sometimes my dad will tell me, ufieke hiyo fence. And then I forget, I go and play football. And when I come back home, he's already home. Now I just remember, niliambiwa nifieke fence. And when I just come in, he asks me, ulifanya kazi nilikwambia ufanye? And then I say no. And then the eyes alone, tomorrow morning I'm busy making the fence, trimming the fence. But my mother would shout, would beat me up, and I still find myself doing the same mistakes. Do you ask yourself why? Do you ask yourself why? Ladies, when you're getting into your puberty, that adolescent stage, and a boy writes you a letter, and then that letter gets to your teachers and to your parents, now to your mother. Your mother beats you up like a drum. And she's doing that because she wants you to avoid the mistake that she did when she was growing up. That is the wrong way of raising children, because that's the evil way of raising children, trying to remodel them into your own image. Most sons at this moment in time have been remodeled into the image of their mothers, because they have weak fathers who did not correct their mothers when they were actually imparting these false identities in them. And they have angry mothers who actually portrayed their anger, the anger that they had for your father. They portrayed that anger to you. And now you resented them and you became just like them. You're weak, you're emotional, you're lonely, you're chaotic, and now you're constantly running away from your mother and your father, trying to think that you will attract somebody who will get you complete. You think that this love that you lacked when you were a child, you'll attract it in a woman, so that a woman will make you complete. Oh, you're messing up. Somebody's asking me, what are we going to do as single moms? One, start by dropping that title, single mom. You're not a single mom, you're a parent. It's that simple. So start by dropping that false identity that they liked you, that you're a single mother. I mean, you did not get that child alone, did you? So you're not a single mother, you are just a mother. You are a parent, you're a mother. Be proud of that title. Number two, when you call yourself a single mother, it means you resent the guy that actually got you pregnant. But women will only get pregnant for the man that they want to. They will get pregnant and carry a pregnancy to a man that they want to. That is the alpha at that moment in time. Oh, a woman cannot carry a pregnancy for a man they did not want. They can't. So by the time you're calling yourself a single mother, it means you still have the resentment of the father to this child, because you're seeing that man in this child. And now, since the man is not there because he ran away, you attracted a weak man. You are evil. You attracted an evil man who did not provide and protect and take care of you. You ended up giving this man your best prize, your best and most valuable asset, your womb. So you gave this man your womb. He made you pregnant and he ran away because, of course, he was coming here for fun. And you thought this guy was a serious one because also you were messed up by your mother and your father. You didn't have an identity. So you were chasing love. You're thinking that weak men are going to give you love and make you complete. But you forgot that you being complete is inside you, is not outside. So nothing from outside is coming to make you complete. So you ended up attracting a false man just like your father, a weak man just like your father, but in a different body. He took advantage of you, got you pregnant, elevated you from being a girl to a woman, from being a woman to a mother, and ran away. And now you resent him. But because you resent him and you don't want to act less, you resent him, you call yourself a single mother. You know, I'm a single mom. You cannot be a single mom. You cannot make yourself pregnant. You're a mother or you're a parent. Accept that and move. That is number one. Number two, understand that you cannot raise children if you don't know God. Understand, it is hard for a woman to raise children if they don't know God. And it's even tough for a woman to raise a son if they don't know God. Now, just because you are in church every Sunday does not mean you know God. You know about him because you've heard about him. But you don't know God. Why? Because you're full of resentment. You must forgive those that you resent. Forgive that gentleman so that you release his identity. Tell him, you know what? I understand it was beyond you. You couldn't help yourself. And now that I'm here, I'm constantly resenting you for no good reason. And I'm actually taking this anger and lashing it to the child. And it's time for me to overcome you. So therefore, I apologize for resenting you for no good reason. Now that takes guts. Because you facing somebody that you resent and telling them, you know what, I've been resenting you and I'm tired of this. And now that I understand it was not your fault, you are in a fallen state, I apologize. It is not right for me to resent human beings. Therefore, I apologize. Now, whatever your ex-boyfriend or ex-husband says is none of your business. You're good to go. God will take that anger and emotion out of you and he'll bring back an identity. Now, face your mother, because that's where the problem came in. Face your mother and tell your mother, you know what? You've raised me to be this reasonable daughter that I am right now. However, I apologize for resenting you for no good reason. Tell that to your mother straight to her face. And women are very good at pulling these emotional moves. So she'll start playing the emotional card. As she plays the emotional card, simply listen, pay attention, but not act upon those thoughts and upon what she's saying. Just let it come in and go out. Because God says, forgive so that I can forgive you. So you're not there for her drama. You're there to forgive so that God can actually forgive you. And when God forgives you, he reconnects you back to your biological father. He gives you back your identity. And then that identity is what God will actually reveal things to you on how to raise your children. So as you sit there with resentment, resenting the father of your child, resenting your mother and your father, you will not know how to raise these children. If any case, if you're raising a daughter, she will end up becoming a single mother, in quotes, at an early age than you became a single mother. Hello? If it's a son, he will end up growing knowing that women are supposed to provide. So he will end up hating his father and hating you, becoming just like you, becoming emotional. He will attract older women because he knows women are supposed to provide. Do you see now where that gentleman is? Mnaona pali ile mambo iko. Wewe mnasema the best artist, mnaona pali iko shida? So you resent your mother, you become just like her. You end up thinking that women are supposed to provide because you are raised by a mother alone. So you're thinking that women are supposed to provide because she had to step up anyway. Now when that happens, you end up attracting an older woman in your life because you're looking for mama's love. And women, if a woman loves a man, that man becomes her son. Oh, she will dominate you. She will dominate you just like the way your mother is dominating you in your head. Oh, men out here are working with dominance. Their mothers are dominating them in their heads every single time. This is one of the reasons why our fathers found it so hard to give us some secrets. Because your father wants to release some form of secret to you, but he realizes you will end up yapping and telling your mother. So he holds back. Anytime your father is talking to you, he realizes you sound like a woman. So he's actually listening to your mother talking. You are very emotional, you're chaotic, you can't even look beyond your emotions. And now he holds back these secrets. Then you start thinking your father hates you. He doesn't. He just understands that you cannot hold on to anything. Oh, you don't have a secret. An emotional man. That's why all of the emotional men are always constant on gossip channels. Look at those women who are actually sharing nude videos online. Who are there commenting? The men. Look at those men who take photos of their pregnant women and share on the internet. Who are there lasting? Men. You see it. It is there. Look at the men who are cross-dressing. Your favorite people, your favorite celebrities cross-dressing, and you think, oh, this is just acting. This is just acting. This guy has talent. Imagine he speaks like a woman. Talent gani ya kuongea kama mwanamke wewe? Your favorite online celebrity dresses like a woman and speaks like a woman, and you're like, hey, this one is the best woman actor. Is it actor or actress I've ever seen? They are doing pedicure, applying some polish on the nails and all that, taking some makeup. And these are the men that you women are going to attract, because if you can't fix yourself, these are the same men that you're going to attract. So, and you are just the exact image of their mothers, because you don't have an identity. Please, hey, somebody's mentioning, hey, wewe, sitaki kujua hapa ni abducted. I don't want to be abducted. So if you don't fix yourself, you will constantly blame other people for your misfortunes. You will blame the women, you will blame you'll blame economy. You blame the president, you blame other people for your own misfortunes. And until you fix yourself, you will never see the bigger picture, because you are born on a path that had lights. Now schools, churches, parents, society, and the morals, they delayed you from this path. They taught you new things that actually turned you away from this path, and they sent you into a pit. That is what I call the fallen state. Now coming back to your path, there's a price to pay, and that price is forgiveness. Once you forgive, God forgives you and brings you back and gives you an identity. Through that identity, He will guide you through what to do. He will show you the way. And now remember, you are not responsible for anything you've done or anything you're doing. Whatever is responsible for that is the spirit that lives inside you. So if you have the spirit of good, you will do good. You will not have fear, you will not have doubt, you will not have concern, you will not have guilt, you will not have morals, you will not have standards. Okay? You will only have two things to operate with. One is the law, the constitution, and number two is the commandments. Anything else does not make sense. Oh, societal values. Oh, this. Look at you judging. Because you are evil. You know very well that Bible that you read, that Quran that you read says, do not judge. But you as a man, you're seated there, creating opinions and judgments over. You've seen that this lady who is actually trending because of debt. And people are saying, oh, she has faked a life. Oh, you know what? These are the same people who actually were lasting on her videos when she was dancing. Now, because the evil in them, the anger in them, has to get a place to actually lash this. They were false supporters. Most of my supporters are actually false. You're here because I share content that is actually inspiring and is actually changing your life for the better. Trust me, tomorrow I trend. Oh, all of you will come after my neck. Because you're evil. You know very well you're evil, but you think you're the better one. Just by thinking you're the better one, you're already evil. You're in a fallen state. And coming back, you have to forgive those that you resent. And number one on the list of the people that you resent is your mother. So I thought I loved my mother so much because I used to call her and we talk and all that. All this gossip. She tells me everything in the village. People have died, people have wedded and all that. I was so happy. Now I know my village through my mother. Call your father and you want the same information from your father. He's like, what are you saying? Yeah, so when you're talking to your father, you're actually sounding just like your mother. And your father is like, this call needs to end in the next 1 second. I can't just hang it up because you're my son. But I'm not proud of you as my son. So when you drop that false identity, the moment you overcome your mother, the spirit of a woman, your father starts being open with you. You start wondering, now I can actually have a conversation with my father for the longest period of time. And believe me, the worst thing that can happen to any woman is their child having a perfect relationship with their biological fathers. It's the worst thing that can happen to them. They hate it because they know you are taking their attention. They want it so badly. And this can only be rectified by men who are strong, men who have overcome the nature of their mothers. But with all these men that we are walking around here, with the identity of their women, and some women are so brutal, they just tell you, you sound like a woman. And then you become so angry, you're so irritated. Why is she telling me I sound like a woman? And ladies, let me tell you a secret. Every man, move your ears closer. Every man is always fighting with a specific woman in his head. You see where the devil controls men? In the head. So there's that ex that actually broke that man so badly. And this man, before they get their identity, they are constantly fighting with this woman. They want to prove a point to this woman in their head. This woman moved on. She's even married with kids. But she's always in a man's head. So this man, everything this man does is actually seeking approval from this woman in the head. Somebody saying, not all mothers. I want my sons to have a perfect relationship with their fathers. I'm telling you this for free. What you want is not what is the truth. Who is this? I'm telling you, 𝐌𝐀𝐄𝐈𝐑. Because you see now, that's lack of identity. Because you need to put there your name. If you say 𝐌𝐀𝐄𝐈𝐑, that's a false identity. So that tells me something. But the reality is this. I am not against your statement. It's very right, according to you. But the reality is what you want is not always what is the right thing. Until you find an identity. For example, you want the best for your sons and your children. You want the best to have a perfect relationship with their fathers. But do you have an identity? Have you forgiven your mother? Have you overcome her nature? Have you forgiven your father to get back to the right path? So then how would you know that whatever is in your head is the perfect relationship with their fathers? Is that not the devil trying to control you? Is that not the devil trying to lie to you through your imaginations? Trying to tell you, know what? You want the best for your children and you want them to have this perfect relationship with their fathers. But how would you know what a perfect relationship is when you don't have the spirit of good? How? How would you know that? Because you must have an identity, which is just two identities that exist. One is the evil, the other one is the right. The good and evil. In the spiritual aspect of life, it's always good and evil, period. So choose you. If you have the spirit of evil, you have anger, you have doubt, you have concern, you have worries. You think of the future that you don't even have. You're always judging yourself because of the past. Because that spirit is the one that controls you to do all these things. But when you overcome that spirit and you allow the spirit of light to come up, you will do what is good. So you'll not see the need to seek validation by telling me, I want a perfect relationship between my children and their fathers. That is you seeking validation. Because inside you, the devil tells you, if you say these things, people will actually relate with you. They don't. Imagine they don't care. It is just you. So therefore, if you do it, just do it. You don't have to tell us. And that's the beauty about it. It's like me telling a woman, I love you. That is the most wasted words ever. The most wasted the wasted energy. Because when you love somebody, you don't say it. You simply do it. Because love is an action. Love is not words. And because women are emotional, when you are told about these words, they make sense to you. Now, this guy has earned the trust. Now remember, he's just your father in a different body. Oh, this guy confirms and runs away at the speed of light. Runs away at the speed of light. And then now you'll be left there with the evil nature blaming that guy. Oh, you know men are dogs. Men are not dogs. The men that you attract are dogs. Why? Because you are a dog. Because dogs will only attract dogs. You see that? Church. This is a church actually. You see, in church, you'll go to church with the problem. You want it to be solved. You want the problem to be solved by somebody. You see, that's the problem, because your problems can actually be solved by you. So you go to church, you sit there for 2 hours listening to somebody telling you scriptures, joining different scriptures from Matthew all the way to Genesis, and he makes these scriptures make sense because he has studied theology and psychology. And then he sells you the hope by telling you hallelujah, and you say amen. And then he has this good voice, and there must be some aura of a pastor. Then he sells you all this hope, and then you give him something in form of a tithe, or in form of, how can you be going to church and giving tithe and singing and doing all these things, but the same problems that you went in church with, you come out with them? How bad is this God of yours? Kwani huyu Mungu wako anakaa aje? God is a God of completeness. He actually says, I think it's in Colossians 2:10, he says that the God of the spiritual and the power is actually making you complete. That you are complete in him, the head of spirituality and power. But look at you, very empty, very hollow. But you go to church, right? You go to church, you pray, you tithe, you do all these things. You are a very charitable person, but you still have the same problems. You're still angry, you're still emotional, you're still delusional. You live in the future that you don't even have. You even think by giving a tithe you deserve better from God, because you think God is supposed to behave in a way that pleases you. So you remodel God into your own image. You still judge people, you gossip, you're lonely. You are in a marriage, but you're so lonely. So how is this God of yours behaving? God did not design you to suffer. No way. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are on TikTok, make sure you can actually request to be a guest. It's time for me to have a conversation with you. I've shouted enough. Yes, you are anxious. Thank you so much, Cherry. You are anxious, the anxiety, overthinking, false identities of depression. All these are dragons or demons from the same home, the house of the devil. Basically means you are inhabiting the home of evil inside you. And the weird part is, somebody who is in the evil does not even realize, because all they know is darkness. All they know is darkness. So if you try to come out of that darkness, people will pull you back into that darkness. That's why you came alone, you live alone. So at some point, getting your spiritual bearing will actually mean you going against the wishes of your mother. Forgiving your mother it looks easier, but it's not. It is not. It's hard. You look at your mother, you want to say those words, but they come from the stomach. When they get in your throat, they have to go back. And you're sitting there thinking, hey, you know what? But my mother has done nothing wrong to me. Now that's the devil talking to you, because he doesn't want to die in you. So he starts lying to you. Your mother has not done anything. Imagine your mother loved you. Imagine you are raised by a mother alone. This mother of yours has suffered. Do you know how many things she has done? Just make sure you go through school. So that devil starts talking to you, and now you realize, why would I do this? I mean, Dr. Lay is just shouting, right? And then you go back, and then you still have anger. So overcoming the spirit of evil, overcoming our mother's identity is hard. And now imagine it, you're having that identity of your mother inside you as a man. You end up attracting your mother in form of a woman that you'll get married to, because you get married instead of marrying. Now you have that identity of your mother, you attract your mother in marriage, so therefore your mother is going to stay with you for a lifetime. And then you call these generational curses. They are not generational curses, they are just you being an evil person, and you don't want to leave your evil nature. You want to stick in that evil nature. So the answer is yes. In this generation, men are actually marrying their mothers. Oh, they are, because they've been remodeled into the image of their mothers. And now they are struggling. They don't like these false identities in them. That's why they lie to you. That's why they'll fake their lifestyle on the internet, so that you actually comfort them, you actually relate with them. They are looking for love. They are seeking external validation. And they are hoping that that love that is coming from a woman will actually make them complete. The only thing they are forgetting is women are incapable of loving a man. If a woman loves a man, that becomes her son. So she will dominate you all your life. Because when a woman is dating a younger boy, she's looking at this younger boy and just wanting to control this guy everywhere. So she's just trying to exercise her power, her form of control, because she's unable to control the man that she has. Now she knows this one is an avenue to control. Oh, my friend, you heard the first session we did about identities. There was a guy who came in who was saying that, you know what, I am dating older women and all they do is they make sure that I must lick their genitals. I can't leave this woman. He was actually saying that, and I'm saying she because he has an identity of a woman. So he was busy saying, you know what, I can't leave this cougar of mine because she bought me a car, and you know what, the only thing I have to do here is to come, give her the sex, and just lick her genitals. So actually, this guy is so dominated to an extent that, where? What are you to watch? Yeah, sometimes you want to just to slap the hell out of the man, and the evil nature disappears through this ear. But you just listen to them, and you're like, oh God, oh yeah. And then the devil is there trying to mock God using you, just saying, God, hata huyu ni unasemanga ni wako. Look at this guy, busy licking genitals. This one, huyu ni wako. hey, yeah, so that he can continue driving that car. Because without him doing that, the car is gone. Hapana tawe hii ni ngumu. Kevin Angalwa, I hope you can come in. You're live on air, brother. So you have to pay a price. You are being controlled, but you don't know you're being controlled. Well, unajua, I have to do this so that I can actually get the car. I can actually maintain this lifestyle. So if any case, you are so empty from inside and you think material things are going to make you complete. And now this woman sees you as the sun and now dominates you, controls you all over. Oh, sometimes I hear that gentleman talking about that woman. I'm like, aye. Yes, Kevin.
Yes, my brother. I hope you can hear me clearly.
I can hear you clearly. You're live on air. How are you?
I'm very fine, sir.
How do you know you're fine?
Because I just feel I'm at peace with myself.
You feel?
Yes.
Oh, amazing. Take me through your story, brother.
So my name is Kevin.
Yes.
Walimwa.
Okay.
I'm from Omega.
Okay.
And I lost my dad in 2022.
Poorly about that.
Yes. So, and I realized I used to resent my dad a lot before. I used to not be close to him, and I kind of understood that is because of my mom will speak so much about him in a very negative way.
Yes, sir.
So I've been watching your videos on Friday, the Identity Fridays.
Yes.
And I saw when you mentioned about forgiving your mother and facing your mother, telling her the truth.
Yes.
So after my dad passed away in 2022, I've been feeling emptiness, and I've been feeling like, why did I not get close to him? Why didn't I ask him the questions like a man, like just to face him? Because he used to try to approach me, but that resentment was so over me that I didn't want to get close to him.
Yeah.
But the only moment I'm proud about is that at least towards the end we spent some time with him, but I didn't get to ask him the questions I wanted.
Yeah.
So a week ago, I've been gathering, since I've been watching your videos, I just gathered some strength to face my mother.
Yes.
For once and for all. So I called her on Monday this week. And I gathered strength. I just told her, by the way, Mom, I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
I've been feeling like not myself, so I wanted to just say I've forgiven you for imposing my identity on me.
Yeah.
And I want to be free, so I just want to forgive you.
Yeah.
For imposing identity. And she was like hysterical. She was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I told her, yes, I just want to tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you say this or that. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, thank you for forgiving me. And also she mentioned, like, she said, like, she has also been forgiving me.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's been forgiving me for.
Yeah.
But once I said that, I just felt a sense of peace.
Perfect.
Since I said that on Monday. Like I
Bro.
feel just relaxed. I think that those pressures I used to be having, I feel just some inner peace that I've been having since Monday until now, and I'm excited that I was able to face her, just tell her the truth.
Bro. I call that perfect peace. It's amazing to have you here. It's amazing to have you here, bro. Let me tell you something. Bro, you just started the journey. How old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
Bro, you've just started a journey of being a man. Now, realize this, that even in the resentment of your father, you still longed for him. You still wanted him to talk to you and be there. But the resentment blocked you because anger blocked you from seeing the bigger picture. Anger blocked you from real reality. Anger blocked you from having perfect peace. Bro, let me tell you this. You did not hate your father. You resented your father with the hate of your mother. Because you used to speak these annoying things about your father, these negative things about your father. You did not like it, but you did not have a chance to do anything about it because you thought she's just being your mother. And you, now that you understand, because you see, we resent our mothers, we resent our fathers, but we resent our fathers with our mothers' hate. And that is what is messing us up. But the truth is, bro, that spirit that actually made you see the light is not my videos. It is the spirit of God. That spirit, and I'm telling you this for free, there is no human being who can actually come in to show you the light. God reveals these things to you. And I'm glad that you actually took that challenge to face and overcome your mother. Because at some point your father was looking at you. He wants to bond with you and tell you things. But every time he sees how angry you are, he sees your mother in you. Because your mother remodeled you into her own image. And I'm glad that you actually overcame that spirit. Now, stay in prayer, bro. Stay in prayer. Make a silent prayer, because at this moment in time, that is when the devil wants to win even more. That's the time the devil will give you all these false ideas. That's the time the ego comes up, because I've forgiven my mother, and ego comes up and you want to show her that. Bro, do not even go into that. Now that you understand and you've seen light, God wanted you to be here. You are doing well. I am proud of you, and I want you to do this. Stick in prayer. Stay present. Don't even worry about what is happening in the future, because you don't have it. Stay present. Every time your mind takes you into the future, bring it back. Stay here. Every time your mind is taking you into the past, you don't have a past, bro. Stay here. And remember, everything that happened to you, you are not responsible. You are born of the spirit of evil. You grew in the spirit of evil. And now that God has shed light on you and you can actually see light, you did well to overcome your mother, and you can easily see how she pulled the emotional trick on you. She started the manipulative move, and it's okay. And she's the same person who was speaking bad about your father when he was still alive. Now you're facing her, and she's trying to play the manipulative move so that you actually side with her. You are on the right path. Hold on to that path, because your life is going to get even better, bro. Perfect peace.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Because I think I've come to understand everything that was happening, because my dad was always quiet. Anytime my mom was there, he was always quiet, talking too much. Now I've come to understand the reason why he was always quiet and all that,
Yeah.
So I always wanted just to seek him all the time. Since he passed, I just wanted to seek him. Where is he?
Yeah.
That emptiness, but at least now I feel much better after I just overcame my mom.
Yeah. That spirit of loneliness is not your spirit. It's a spirit that was imposed in you by the evil nature of your mother. So she put that spirit in you, and now that you've overcome that spirit, you'll have perfect peace. You will always see the bigger picture. You will see evil. You will not hate it. You will call it out, but you will not hate it. And that's how God speaks. And actually, once you get the spirit of good, the beauty about it is it will protect you against evil. So you'll always see evil and you will discern it. Some people will start telling you, what? Hey, nowadays you're so calm, bana. You don't react to things. That's when you'll know you're actually winning again, okay? So you'll just say cool, and you pray inside you. Just make a silent prayer that I hope God can actually manifest to you people the same way he manifested to me. So I'm proud of you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Amazing. Amazing. Oof. I like this. So trust me, this gentleman is going to attract a very feminine woman. He is only 26. The future is brighter. If at all God gives him the grace to live tomorrow. He is now of God. He has died from the spirit of evil, which is a hard task. And he can easily tell you, it was not easy to go and face your mother and say these words. At some point, you get confused, because those words are choking you. I forgive you. So you boil inside you. but you cannot tell. You remember when I told you about the issues with dating? You see this woman is seated there, you want her to make a meal, but you cannot tell her. Because you're afraid of her because you resent your mother. So you hate women. You hate her, but you think you love her. If you loved her, you will tell her, please, I want you to prepare a meal for us. You see that? But we are unable to tell women these things. And we think that we are being gentlemen. Somebody has actually brought you a false identity. You are a gentleman. You know very well you don't want to open that car door for that woman. But because the feminine nature in you is saying, oh bro, you know you're a gentleman, the society will judge you. Go and open it. You don't want to move that chair. You know very well. You only want to come here, enjoy a good time, pay bills and go home. You know that. Because the pleasure of being a man is in paying bills, showing leadership. Oh, my friend, perfect peace is something else. When you get to that level, you get to understand it even better. And most of you are suffering from problems that you can actually avoid. You're dominated by your mother. And now ego sets in, because ego is the nature of evil. Oh, what a man must have an ego. My friend, a man must only know God. Simply know God, love him with all might, and the rest shall be added unto you. But look at you, claiming that you know God, but you're busy chasing a career. You're busy chasing a reputation. Look at that. You're busy getting angry over small things. And you're wondering, you don't like being angry. All of you don't like being angry. But anger takes the better part of you. It blocks you from seeing the best things of life. It blocks you from perfect peace. And now all you're looking for is external validation. When you see somebody posting, every single day a man is posting their pictures. Every single day. Doing nothing. Marketing nothing. Doing nothing important. Not educating the public. Not doing anything. But just posting photos. Because he wants the likes. He's so empty inside. You see a man arguing with a woman. He's so empty inside. He's chasing mama's love. He hates women. But he's the first one to tell you, you know what, I love my woman. I love my girl. You love... Your role is not to love a woman. Your role is to love God. And then God will fill you with love, and that love will just flow to the woman. So you will not have to love the woman. You will simply do your role as a man. That's the reason why women are not interested in you saying you love them. They don't care. They're interested in you, the security of their children. Can you provide? Can you protect? Are you a leader? Are you in perfect health? Are you in perfect mental state? So they don't care if you love them or you don't love them. Do your part. They will do their part. They will submit, and automatically they will respect you. Oh, but you go there with, oh, you know, I love you, and you're selling them hope. Women even know they can't live in the future. So you're telling them, you know, nitakuja omoka siku moja. And then look at the ego setting in you. You're telling women who have broken up with you because of your weakness, you're telling them, you will never find a man like me. How can you and a man exist in the same statement? How? After all I did, after all you did, and then the woman asks you, what did you do? Now you're again upset. You're there resenting her and thinking that you can attract a better woman. You will attract the same woman. She will leave you again. And now she'll rub the ego at your face. She'll rub it in. Hello, who is this? Hello, Brenyam. Hey, Brenyam has decided to come in. Brenyam. Hey. Is there anybody who has just sensed the anger in her? Hey, God works miraculously. Have you sensed the anger in her? She doesn't even know she has requested to be in as a guest. She doesn't even know. She's not even concentrating. Possibly she's discussing, oh, daktari anasema nini? Who ni daktari kweli? Focus on health. The gossip. This one is an angry one. Hey, Brenyam. Whenever you're eating, it's Friday. Umerequest alafu unamwaga siri zako bwana kwa live, watu wanashangaa what is happening. Tawe Brenyam. Good. If you have a question for me, you can put it in the comment section. As you do that, allow me to market my platforms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to Nairobi for my physical consultations. Our physical consultations in Nairobi, they happen at the end of the month, the last week of the month, and the first week of the month. This means we are going to Nairobi from the 27th of this month, and our consultations will start on 28th of this month, all the way to the 2nd of February. You can start booking your appointments with us. And the contact is 0707074722. Now, it's been amazing. I did this, I advertised this, and people joined my weight loss program, and it has started. And I hope they can actually come in later after the program to share their news with you, so that you can actually see. It's just amazing to go through that program. So I've pinned that contact on my YouTube platform. You can use that contact 0707074722. Use that contact to book your appointments with us for the physical consultation. The same contact can actually be used to book for online consultations that happen every evening when I'm done with my my daily duties. So they happen every evening at around 6 to 8. So you can book your space and we can have a conversation with you. You learn a lot from us. So thank you for that. Again, I have multiple platforms that run on social media. One, I have Facebook page that is called Lewis Muchile, 80,000 people. Two, I have a TikTok platform that is called Health and Wellness Sport, about 254,000 people. I have a YouTube channel that is called Health and Wellness Sport, purely health matters, and we run lives on that YouTube channel on Mondays at 8:30. It is called Health and Wellness Sport, 34,000 people. I have this YouTube channel that I'm on live right now. It's called Dr. Lewis. It was formerly known as HAWS, HAWS with Dr. Lewis. Now it's Dr. Lewis. It's all purely Identity Fridays and Identity Stories. It runs on Friday at 8:30 p.m. until late. And then I have a Telegram support group that is called Health and Wellness Sport. So go to Telegram. Don't go looking for for gossip. Go and look for that channel called Health and Wellness Sport and join in. You will learn a lot from that channel. Okay? Thank you so much. So if you've subscribed on my channel, all of them, I appreciate you. I cannot survive without you, because you people are the ones who are actually holding us back. And we love having these conversations with you because they are life-changing. They actually show you the bigger picture of life. And you know very well, I come in hard and handy. I show you the truth of life, because I know truth is very rare in healthcare and in life in general. Most of us are very evil people, and we reside with the spirit of evil inside us. So therefore, we don't know how to say the truth. We are afraid, we have fear, we have doubt, we have concerns, we have insecurities. So therefore, we can't come out clean. We can't even have a chance to be true to ourselves. So we can't be truthful to ourselves. How about X? On X, I am Lewis Muchile again. Yes, I have a platform on X, about 6,000 people on X. It's called Lewis Muchile. So we share all this health content on these platforms. You can never miss out on such platforms. Thank you so much for actually joining us. If you're on this live, the best thing you can actually do to us is to like the live for a reason. One, they'll make the channel get to more people. And number two, the content that you're getting for free will actually serve more people. When they get access to it, they get better the same way you've gotten better. So thank you for actually liking the live. So if you're on YouTube, do not fail to like the live, because it's very important for us. Thank you. Amazing. Amazing. So we continue. I hope you can actually bring in the conversation. I want those questions because I want to answer them. Now, do not wait until we are done with this live, and then you come to my inbox, start texting me on Instagram, on all these platforms, texting me, Doctor, you know, I heard you saying this on the live, and I think this is, you know, I heard this and I think this. Don't think in my inbox. Think it here. Bring that conversation. We are not here to judge you, because we are not. Who are we to judge? When you have the spirit of good, it's hard for you to judge. You don't even make an opinion over anything. You have perfect peace. You don't even care about what is going on around you, because you are in the world but not of the world. You are in the world but not of the world. So whatever is happening around you is none of your business. None of your business. Somebody once asked me, why do people cry in a funeral? Why do people cry in a funeral? And then you come back at night, they are making stories and laughing. Why did they cry? Then the same person told me, what if you start crying in a funeral? Maybe let's say your mother has died and you're busy crying because you will miss her and all that. And then she resurrects. So you were crying that she's gone and now she's just back. You will be the first one to take your phone and take a video. You will even go live. Oh, guys, you are running. Guys, my mother has resurrected. The first woman in the Buhando village to resurrect. Guys, tap tap, guys. Imagine, you people are hypocrites. We are so evil in nature. You even live with somebody who just resurrected. So why did you cry then? Yeah, Dad has just resurrected. Guys. The internet is a little bit shaky, but just tap, guys. My dad has resurrected. And now all these interviews. The media guys, you see this online media are coming in. Hey, guy, what happened with your dad? It's not easy to be me. Zira easy. But if you have that spirit, you will see the bigger picture. Sometimes we can't be too serious about these things. At least let's make a joke, dog. Or somebody's like, and my dad just died. I'm like, oh, there's nothing we can do. That's nature. You should actually be proud that he died before you, because it's only natural that older people die before the younger ones. So if you die, and that's why in a hospital setup, when a child dies, it's the most painful situation. The most painful episode in a hospital is when a child passes on. But some of our parents are already old. They just want to rest, okay? I'm waiting for somebody to request to come in. Why are you afraid of talking? Why are you allowing the spirit of evil to manipulate you? You have a question? Family issues are deep, bro. Let's stick to medicine. You see, I told you. I told you, Alex. I told you there must be somebody who is triggered. There must be somebody who always, imagine he had a chance to have this and stick with it. Anyamaze tu nayo ndani ya roho. But ego ni nani? Who is ego? The ego had to make him take his time to sit down, be on a live of somebody else. He's a man, he can't do something, he can't create anything. But be on a live and just type, because that's where his strength is. He can't come in and roll a conversation. He has to type and then press send and then wait for me to respond. Imagine that. He thought that he was coming into a channel for gossip. If I was talking about gossip, or if I was saying, guys, Mia, he would be here sending 100 shillings. And because the evil in him cannot allow him to actually just sit back and just keep his words to himself, because they are non-essential, he had to put it out. He had to seek validation. How can we say he has an identity? So he thinks when he says medicine, because he thinks this is a medical channel. This is actually an identity channel. So he's on an identity channel, but still drags the Dr. Lewis from Health and Wellness Sport here, so that he can actually feel accommodated, because he has no identity. And if we go deeper into it, you'll realize that their bringing is actually messed up. You'll realize. If he comes in and brings a conversation, you'll realize that the evil in him has to be rebuked. This is Alex on my YouTube. Family issues are deep, bro. Let's stick to medicine. So he thinks that medicine is shallow than... Hey. He thinks that spiritual aspects of life are not medicine. Imagine that. A whole man. And these are the types of men that women are going to attract. Our daughters are going to get these types of males. When they're there playing cards and playing video games, idling the whole day, they're busy telling them, you know, I'm the man. I am a man. I have to be respected because I'm a man. That's what they're telling their women out there. So somebody's daughter is suffering in the hands of Alex because of the nature of evil. The nature of the woman in him cannot allow him to actually just settle down and listen in. He has no respect. He doesn't see the bigger picture. And I can't judge him, because I understand where he is. He's in the fallen state. One day he'll see light and he will wake up. And you know what? There was a time I used to go after posts that are made by people. I used to envy people. Sometimes you envy somebody because you can't do what they're doing. You feel bad that, you know what they're doing, I can't do it. So instead of just accepting that and fixing yourself and doing something for yourself, you think that coming in and bringing that vibe on their platform will actually make you feel better. So now you type that, and then where you are, you're still very lonely. You're still very empty. You're still very angry. And now I'm actually making him more angry, because whatever I'm saying, he's actually thinking, should I respond? What is the best response to respond so that people get to actually accept me again and say, you know what, side with me? Bro, you must fix yourself. You must overcome that spirit of a woman inside you. You must overcome the spirit of anger. Go and forgive your mother. overcome her. Go and forgive your father because you understand now that your father was weak. Forgive him, overcome him. You will have an identity, brother. You will understand that medical aspects of life cannot survive without a spiritual aspect of life. Amazing. Alex, I left my boyfriend because of gossip. This guy comes with gossip every single day. Hey, he has the new gossip. Hey, umesikia hii Asiad? Umesikia hii Asiad? Umesikia hii nimetoka huko BNN. Umesikia hii ya nani? Hey, you're like, bro. Gossip has not reached me, but you have it. Sitting in the kitchen, washing dishes and saying, hujasikia nani? We. On the same Twitter that you're actually following gossip, there's a guy there making money. There's a guy there learning a skill. There's a guy there fixing their identities. On the same X space that you're actually bringing chaos, there's a guy fixing themselves. There's a guy making money. In the midst of chaos, there's always a man making it. In the midst of chaos, there's always a man making it. Okay? So Alex, I wish you well. I mean, that's the only thing I can do for you, right? I can only pray that one day you get to see light in a window that I actually saw light through, so that you overcome that nature of evil, you overcome that nature of anger, you overcome that loneliness, and you overcome that need of seeking external validation, because you are born complete and you live complete. You just got into a fallen state because you are born in the nature of evil, and there's a price to pay to come back to your path. Okay? And this life actually suits you, because if you go on with that type of spirit, you will end up attracting the same spirit. It shall be chaotic. So go fix yourself, brother. And we can only hope that you can actually come back better. Amazing. Good. We've done 1 hour 30 minutes. Let me read another one here. Chasing career over children is also evil, but no one talks about it. Anne Masharia, please, thank you so much for bringing this up. And I'm glad that it's actually coming from a woman. Ladies, I'm telling you this. That career can actually wait. Your womb cannot wait. Your womb has an expiry date. That career does not. If it's a career that is actually going to change and ease pain in lives of people, it cannot end. It doesn't have an expiry date. But your womb has an expiry date. We call it menopause, right? So the reality is this. If you're busy chasing career over your children, you're an evil woman. You don't love your children. Because, of course, the one that you're attracted to does not love you. He doesn't know God. He doesn't have love. And the reality is, the reason why I'm saying that is because if he loved you and if he knew about God, or if he knew God, he would actually be filled with love. He will share that love with you. You will end up loving your children. That means you will raise his children in a way that God wants and in a way that this man guides you. So the reason why you're chasing that career is because you're still insecure that the man that you have cannot be able to provide for you exclusively. And if anything goes wrong, these children will suffer. If this man dies, the children will suffer. So you're actually going out not to be independent, because independent from what? You're going out to actually secure the security of your children. And that means, of course, you attracted the wrong guy. You attracted the wrong person, because from inside you, you didn't have an identity. You attracted a man or a male who did not also have an identity. Now you're just suffering the consequences of who you are. Therefore, stop blaming the man. Go and fix yourself. And when you fix yourself, you'll be so complete and the career will not make sense. You realize that your major role to these children is to love them and guide them into a way that God wants. But at this moment in time, you're chasing external thrills. You're chasing a career, you're chasing sex, you're chasing love, you're chasing all these things that later on will not make sense, because these children will start to resent you for you not being there for them. And remember this, whatever you love controls you. If you love your job, it becomes your God, it controls you. If you love money, just the same way most people here love money, if a bank closes tomorrow, their people will be depressed tomorrow. You have an identity of money. So that tells you that you love money. When you love money, money becomes your God, it controls you. And that, when that becomes your God, that's a mini God. It turns you away from the spirit of God. You go deeper into the fallen state. You will suffer in the hands of money. That's the reason why you get the money, but it's never enough. You think if I earn 100,000 every month, I'll be okay. You get to 100,000, it is never enough. You want 200,000. So you did not even learn. You kept on chasing a false identity. So it's very necessary that you realize that the real reality is happening inside you. The kingdom is happening inside you. And nothing makes sense from outside you if you are adequate from within. Good. Amazing. Amazing. I'm glad that that came from a woman. Oh, you'll see a lot of people saying, you know what, as a man, just find money. Wait, after pesa too. You'll hear that from the weak males because they think money is everything. Oh, wait, after two pesa, bro. After pesa. And the reason why they are saying after pesa is because they think when you have money, you'll attract women. So if any case, they're looking for this money so that they can actually attract women. What a mess. Imagine. Eh? So now you've attached all your demands to a woman. So you have to work so hard to get money so that you can actually access women. What a mess. Then you get that money, and of course, those women will be there. They will take all that money back to square zero. Working so hard to attract money, so that you can actually attract women. And realize this, that is not about the women, it's about the sex. So you just want the sex. Your aimless need to ejaculate. Because one woman, and I told you, there's a woman inside your head all the time. Weak men, they know that. So that woman denied you sex because you did not have resources. And now you're constantly working so hard to overcome her in your head. But this woman already moved on. You constantly praying that she suffers so that she realizes you're the best man she will ever have. Oh, this man goes ahead and marries an engineer Omolo. And this woman passes you with a Benz. My friend, you're busy boiling. Because in a breakup, everyone wants the other party to feel bad and know that I was the best person for them. Oh, my friend. By the time a woman is moving on, physically, she moved on financially, she moved on psychologically, emotionally. Actually, I don't believe men leave women. I know women leave men before men leave them. How do we deal with these men in a marriage setup and they are not willing to change? Listen, Lois, your role is not to change a man. Your role is not to change anybody. You came alone, you will leave alone. So you don't have to deal with them. Don't deal with anything because that is what is outside you. Whatever is outside you is none of your business. Deal with you. Just go and fix your identity. And when you get that identity, you will not even ask this question to me because you will be guided by the revelation that will come through that identity. Okay? So it's your time to go and overcome the anger, overcome the emotions, because you see this statement is coming from a center of evil and a center of anger. So you must overcome it. So you simply go and forgive your mother, overcome your mother, forgive your father, overcome your father. You will have your own identity. And guess what? That is the spirit of light. And through that spirit of light, God will give you the guidance. He will reveal things to you on how to actually attract and talk to people and how to raise even children. So you'll not have to deal with anything. You'll only know my role here is to love God with nothing more. And through that, everything else will be added unto me. But when you start thinking of changing somebody, you can't change anybody. When you start thinking that you can actually come in for somebody, you can't. That is ego trying to actually lie to you that you're a better person and they're the worst. So do not focus on that. Focus on you. Heal you. Once you heal, you have perfect peace. Everything else will make sense. It will align. Leo iko watu wako na estrogen. Doc, some comments. There are questions about co-parenting and polygamy. I prefer having that conversation over reading the comments. So the best part will be somebody to request to come in and just talk about that co-parenting issue. Because there are questions that I have to ask, and I cannot ask them through this, okay? And I hope to see that question. I hope somebody can actually bring back that question again about co-parenting. I can try to explain that. So if you can paste back that question about co-parenting, I will explain that. However, just know this. Whatever you're calling co-parenting is non-existent. There's nothing like co-parenting. You guys are parents. So it's nothing like co-parenting. Actually, what is co-parenting? Can there be a perfect relationship if you are co-parenting with the father? The reality is this. When most people, this is who? Team Kekeli. When somebody says co-parenting, what they mean is we are sharing bills. We are sharing how to raise these children. It is a role of a man to raise children. Okay? Women come in to help the man to raise the children. It's a role of a man to raise the children. And the children are supposed to be raised under the umbrella of two parents. So why is it that when you're together is not co-parenting? When you break up is now the co-parenting? Why? You're still parents. You still have to play your role. The man has to provide protect, lead from the front. But mostly, you will realize women block the man from doing these duties. So co-parenting is non-existent. It's a word that is just put there to actually massage your ego. And co-parenting basically means you guys are in an open relationship. This one can do whatever they want to do there. I can do whatever I want to do here, as long as we just meet on the point of children. That is the worst part. That's the worst side of raising these children. And again, that's an identity crisis. So even if you call it co-parenting, how can you co-parent when you don't have God, when you don't know God? This is the reason why I tell you to fix identities. I'm not saying that thing for fun. Fixing identities will help you understand that there's nothing like co-parenting. It will help you understand that you have a role to play. As a mother, you have a role to play. As a father, you have a role to play. There's nothing like co-parenting. The father will have to take care of the bills, and the mother will have to support in terms of raising these children. And the reality is this: when I say that, people will come saying, oh, you know what, but that is not the real case. The real case is I'm chipping in and the father is chipping in. The reality is you did not have an identity. You attracted a weak male who is just exactly your image, because you attract who you are, and now you are unable to actually handle the consequences of who you are. A person who does not have an identity. So therefore, instead of thinking of co-parenting, why don't you think of fixing your identity and just getting the revelations from that? Why don't you think of overcoming your mother? Because you have the spirit of your mother. That's why you attracted a man who cannot provide. He was feminine. So why don't you think of overcoming that spirit of your mother, and then overcoming the spirit of your father, reconnecting with his soul, getting your identity back, and then through that identity you get the revelations. Because I am not in a position to advise you on what to do. I am only here to actually shed light on how to get an identity, because you deserve it. And once you get an identity, every single thing will be a revelation through that identity. That is the best way I can answer that question. Amazing. Is it longer ego trips? Sometimes you can read the comment section and you're like, where? We really have identity issues. We really do. They are all over. You can easily see how people get upset for no good reason. People get upset for no good reason. You get angry, and there you're there thinking, why did I even get angry? What actually made me angry? Legend, thank you so much, bro. I like how you reason. I appreciate that. How do I get my identity in the first place? Now, Hosi, a lot of questions again revolving around that. But the reality is this. An identity is what you are born with. You see, no child was born with hate. No child was born with fear. No child was born with doubt. No child was born with insecurities. That was you as a child. Okay? So that is the real identity. But as your parents were raising you, as you went through school, as you introduced through to church, and people who actually think they are brokers between you and God, these people started teaching you different things. And when they taught you different things, for example, your mother modeled you into her own image. So she made you a mini her. And when she did that, she imposed her false identity in you. That is how you lost your identity. So you fell from your path into your mother's path. And now when you did that, you adapted her identity. When you adapt your mother's identity, your identity is suppressed. And now you will suffer until you get to overcome that false identity from your mother. That is what I call finding your identity. So when you overcome your mother by forgiving them, because you've fallen away from the path of good, you're fallen into evil. Dying from that spirit of evil to come back to your path of good has to take you a price. There is a price to pay. And that price is you forgiving these people that have imparted their false identities in you, and they have made you angry, they've made you inadequate, they've made you lonely, they've made you fearful. So you overcome their spirit by forgiving them. You understand that they couldn't help themselves because they were also in a fallen state. So since you've actually had a chance to see light, you go and face them, because facing them makes you overcome them and their false identities. You face them and you tell them, you know what? I have realized that I've been resenting you, and it's not right for me to resent you because you're human, and I understand now that you couldn't help yourself. So therefore, I apologize for resenting you. Understand the statement is I apologize, because you admit that you are wrong. I have realized I've been resenting you, and it's not right for me to resent you. Therefore, I apologize. You're owning it. I apologize for resenting you for no good reason. Now, whatever they say should never be your business. You will overcome their spirits, And now you move to your father. You start with your mother, you overcome her. You move to your father, you overcome your father. And now your spirit comes back because God sees that anger and your struggle. So God takes this anger out of you. He takes the emotions and the emptiness out of you. And then he fills you back with the free spirit. He gives you back your perfect peace. And now you'll feel very adequate because you overcome the false identities that are actually misguiding you. And once you do that, you'll see life in a different perspective. Now understand that God does not speak to people because God does not have a voice. His voice is voiceless. So the only way God can actually communicate to you is by revealing things to you. And he cannot reveal things to you if you don't have an identity. That's why you must die from the spirit of evil, come back to the spirit of light. When you have the spirit of light, there will be revelations coming through that spirit. And that's how God communicates to you. So he will show you what to do because now you have the spirit of good inside you. It will guide you to do good. You'll never do evil. But before you overcome these spirits of evil, these false identities, you will always be in a fallen state. You will suffer, you will struggle, you get depressed, you will actually quote and defend the nature of net your Wi-Fi, I think. Yes, we are back on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Doc, for detailed response. Yeah, you deserve it. You deserve it. And you see, when you get the real picture, when you see the bigger picture, you go and practice it, you try it. Once you try it, it works for you, you become a superwoman. Oh, you'll attract people who now have an identity because you attract who you are. So if you actually trying or you really want to be in a relationship, the man that you will attract will be a man who knows God, who has an identity, and he'll be willing to take care of you without having to create excuses. He will be older than you, he'll be more experienced than you, he will lead you and guide you into the new life. He will teach you matters God. He will also guide you into raising his children in a way that God wants. And that's what we want. I even thought I had personality disorder because the person in me is not the person in real time. Yes, that is true. And you see, the reality is not like you thought you have this disorder, this name, personality disorder. This is a name that's actually put out by these psychologists to actually manipulate you and get you into their pockets. They make you slaves. So the terms like depression, anxiety, OCD, these terms that are just fancy, they are all dragons from the house of evil. Okay, so they make you believe that you actually have this personality. Because if nobody mentioned this name to you, imagine you as a 5-year-old child. Did you know depression? Did you know personality disorders? No, somebody taught you this. So that person who taught you this suppressed your spirit of good and actually imparted their false identities in you. Most of you have identities of your psychologists. And the same psychologists are going through spiritual problems. They are going through trouble. Marital counselors are going through divorce. But you know what? Because they have studied, they are of the intellect. They think they can actually tell you how to actually handle a marriage. But theirs is failing. They've failed multiple times. They even have anger. That's the reason why you ask them questions and they think you're actually depressed. And now they have to prescribe antidepressants. Now it's a drug after drug. You take these drugs, you get more depressed. You take all these therapies, nothing is happening. Why? Because the enemy is not outside. It's not without, it's within. And until you overcome anger, you will not win the battle. So you must overcome anger by forgiving those people that you resent. And start by your parents, or start with your parents. Doc, my parents are deceased. How do I get my identity? Because I feel I have a lot of resentment with my mom. You see the point. Most people resent their mothers. Most people resent their mothers. And we know that fathers don't hate their children. Fathers don't hate their children. They don't. They don't. And children don't hate their fathers. If they do, they hate their fathers with the anger from their mothers, or the hate from their mothers. So they resent their fathers with the hatred from their mothers. And they end up suffering. So mothers, stop blocking your children from seeing their fathers or talking to their fathers. Please. It once happened to me. Fresh, why don't you request to just have a conversation with me? I would appreciate that. Because we can actually help you fix that. It's a free session here. How do I ask for forgiveness from her now that she is not there? You don't need to ask for forgiveness from somebody who is dead. Listen, you have to stick in prayer. Now, how old were you when they died? How old were you when they died? And because you resented your mother, of course, I believe, I have some form of belief that you did not have a relationship with your father. I forgave my mother. I'm enjoying life. Who is this? This is Janina. Is it Janina or Janina? I forgave my mom. I am enjoying life. Listen to that. What she means by saying I'm enjoying life is what I call perfect peace. Oh, you will see peace that you've never seen before. Inside, you start to realize you don't. Actually, people start thinking you don't care. Yeah, they start thinking you don't care, and of course you don't care because you're not here to care for anybody. You're not here to change anything. You're just here to live, glorify God, and move. And what a wasted life, you living 30 years. Imagine having 18 years of being conditioned by your parents and schools, and then having to suffer another 40 years trying to find an identity, paying so much money to psychologists and psychiatrists to fix your identity. Yet, nothing from outside can actually fix your identities. No medication on this world can actually fix your anxiety and depression. Nothing. No human being can actually come and make you complete. If you are hollow inside, you are hollow. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like the live. It's very important that you do that. Mothers are that wicked. Actually 98% of mothers are very wicked. And you see, it's not their fault. It's the spirit that lives in them. It is the fault of that spirit that lives in them. That's why they don't even realize that they are in the fallen state. They are in a fallen state. They don't know. So you can't blame them. Because if you have the spirit of good, you'll actually see that they were unable to do anything. It is not in their role, it's not in their position to change anything. They are suffering in their own hell, and you have to overcome them. And you cannot take them out of that hell. You leave them suffer in that hell until, because in suffering, people know God. When you get to the rock bottom, that's when you know God. When your mother is going through a divorce, and she has 4 of you, she has to raise you on her own, that's when she has to know God. And that's why most people, they will suffer. That's when they start praying. That's when they start telling God, you know what, I'm unable to do this alone. Please come in. And that moment in time is when God shows you light. Because through suffering, we all know God. And when you know God, now you go and forgive those people that you've been resenting, you overcome them. It becomes a super, super life. Perfect peace. So mothers don't know they are evil. They don't know they are wicked. It's in their nature to be emotional. These emotions are the ones that are actually guiding them. You think, like you women who are on this live, you think that some of those things that you've done, those emotions, those emotional outbursts that you've had, you think you wanted to have them. You don't want to have them. You don't want that anger. But you can't help it, yeah? You can't help yourself. You just get yourself angry. You're throwing cups all over. You're slapping your children left, right, and center. You don't want to do that. And of course, you wouldn't want your children to judge you for these actions. That tells you, if you don't want your children to judge you for what you just did, it means it is not you. It was beyond your control. So those people who tell you, you know what, you have a free will. You don't have a free will. There's nothing like a free will. What you have is an evil spirit that controls your mind. Overcome it and allow life to happen just naturally. Allow life to happen naturally. It is so unnatural to have anger. Stop defending it by saying, you know, I'm a human being. I'm human. I must have anger. Every human has anger. Why are you concerned about other humans? Why don't you fix yours? So stop saying, I am human, so I must have anger. No. As a child, you didn't have anger. You are taught anger. You are taught to hate. And it's so unnatural for you to hate. It's so unnatural for you to have anger. That's why you must forgive, so that God forgives you and relieves you of the burden of anger. Lois is saying, my dad passed when I was 17 years and my mom at 35 years. Now you see your mom, or your mother, let me call her your mother. Sorry. So your mother conditioned you in a certain way and made you become this angry, put all these emotions and anger in you and all that. But you see, by the time you go to 35, you would have forgiven her, but you didn't know. You didn't know better. Now, the only role you have right now is to actually let them go. Because even if you hold them against it right now, what will you do different? You can't. It is so unnatural for you to have the anger. You need to actually just stick in prayer. Simply do this. Wake up and do the silent prayer. Sit on that bed, close your eyes, and let all the evil and the good thoughts flow into your head, because you don't know the difference between the good and the evil. So allow all those thoughts to just flow into your head. Do not act upon them, but pay attention. Do not listen to anything outside. Simply listen to what is going on in your head. And from now henceforth, doubt every single thought in your head. Doubt it, because that is the nature of evil. It controls you through your thoughts. Stop praying loudly, because you're praying to your father, the devil. It is here. You're praying from ideas. You need to pray from the heart. And the only way to pray from the heart is to do a silent prayer. So do a silent prayer in the morning and in the evening. And I would like to know, Lois, how is this anger affecting you? Because at some point, if you have children, please tell us if you have children. And I wish, Lois, you would actually come on TikTok. We can actually roll this conversation. That would be an interesting part. Because I can actually see your suffering. And I can't help you. The only person who can actually help you is yourself. Stick in prayer. I wish you could actually come on TikTok. Just come and request and be in. I really need that conversation, because by virtue of you just typing this, it shows a lot of things are happening in. A lot of things are happening here, and you need to overcome them. But at least start by doubting your thoughts and start by sticking in prayer. You know what? As long as you're looking for help, at this moment in time, as long as you're looking for help, don't ever think we will come in to change your life, Lois. Understand that God is already seeing this. So when you start staying in prayer and sticking in prayer, God shall show you what to do. God will reveal things to you, because the same God that actually revealed things to me or to somebody else will reveal things to you, because he lives in you. And this is not me selling you hope. I'm telling you the truth. The same God that actually showed me light and showed somebody else light is the same God that actually has made you to actually look for him in this manner. The Spirit of God that lives inside you is the one that is actually pushing you to actually find your own identity. And since the one that actually stole your identity are dead, you're even safe. You only need to doubt your thoughts, stay present, and stick in prayer. You will love it. The revelation shall come to you, and you'll just live by the revelation that are actually coming in through that identity. Okay? My neighbor is a marriage counselor. Oh, with a third one. Allah. Hey, Anna Mashari, possibly your neighbor is on this live. Like, hey, my neighbor decided to amenianika. Now you have problems. Imagine that. My neighbor is a marriage counselor with the third wife. Yeah. One did not work. The second one, the third one, and he's a marital counselor. Yeah? He sits in an office, puts on a tie, and he talks in this soft voice. Because he doesn't want to shout to you, because you are angry, you're irritated, because you're going through a hard time in your marriage. Eh? But his third wife is not a hard time, I'm just exercising my power as a man. This is my third wife, I can provide. I am the man. I can provide, I can protect, and this is my third marriage. I know it is not going to work. I'm going for the fourth. But you know what? We move on regardless, right? So what is your problem? What has your husband done? Mr. Psychologist. What name do you use on TikTok? It's a health and wellness spot. I was saying mine is a divorcee. It happens all over. Beyond those cameras that they preach on TikTok, that they preach on Instagram, beyond that consultation room, these guys are suffering. These guys are broke. These guys are faking it. But they have to sit here and look like, and on their table they have a Bible here, they have a Quran here, and they're seated in a position that actually is welcoming. Their hands are open, they're smiling gently. And as you say your stories, they can actually relate, because they are going through the same. And you see, misery loves company. Now that you're here, we are all divorcees. You know what? You need a hug. You know what, your man, don't worry. It's okay for a man to be emotional. It's okay for you to cry. Please, just cry. And then he serves you with a serviette. As a man, you're crying in his office or in her office. And she's been taught this psychology and psychology to deal with the masses and angry couples. So she's there playing the cool. Inside she's boiling. She wants to actually just jump on you and slap the hell out of you, because you're making a lot of noise here. She has never handled a couple like you before. But she has to pretend. Because again, inside she's thinking, these guys are reminding me of my ex-wife. But she has to pretend. Because she wants to serve you right? I mean, you've paid. She's very expensive. You've paid. So now she has to actually pretend so that she can actually serve you right. Well, the problem's out here. Atidok, you talk like you know him. He has the most soft voice of a man I know. Haki, the guy is so cool and collected. Well, they are all that way. I don't know if they are taught to be this way in schools. The intellect, which blocks them from actually, intellect is the nature of evil. It blocks them from seeing the common sense. And understand this, that these guys are in business, so they cannot call you out the way I'm calling you out. They will not tell you that you have a role to play in that breakup. All they do is they'll give you a paper, they tell you write an apology letter to your mother and then put on the grave. Oh, you know, go sit on besides the river and sing your heart out. The river will take that anger out of you. You're like, where you sing on all rivers. You decide now, maybe I've been doing it on a stream. Let me go straight to River Tana. And let me even sing my legs in River Tana. Even if there are crocodiles there, I'll go and sing my legs there and just sing this anger out. You sing that anger out, you come back at home, you look at your husband, you're like, wow, he even looks worse than you left him. And then you're like, and then you come to me and you're like, I have done everything. By the way, most of you who come here, they realize, there's nothing I've not done. So this Daktari, what will he tell me differently? Possibly somebody has referred you to me. You're coming, you're like, I have seen the best psychiatrists in the country. Even though they are divorced, but they're the best psychiatrists in the country, you know. I have been prayed for. I have even spoken in tongues. You know, that pastor put his hand on me and I spoke in tongues and I saw God, a hand of God just coming in. Oh, hand of God. Leave that church, go home. There's still a divorce. Hey, there's still a divorce. And now you're thinking, maybe I did not tithe. Oh, this month, 10% of my income is going to the church. You put in an envelope. You're working there with, you know, ladies, how you work with that coat of yours. The Sunday best. You're working. You don't want to step on anything. You're very cautious because you don't want to fall. Because the spirit of evil can actually sweep you off. And you go there and put it there and you say, God, you know me very well. You know me better. I'm bringing this to you so that you can actually take off this battle out of me. I am done. It is heavier than me. I cannot handle it. Yeah? Then you put that tithe there and you see, by the time you're saying those things, they're coming from your mind. You're actually speaking to your father, the devil. He's actually the one who is telling you, please say these things to God. I mean, you have taken 10,000 from your 100,000. Please tell God that you deserve better. Ego. So you're bribing God. Nachukua hii 10% God. But unajua hii 10% nilikuwa na option ya kuipeleka kwa psychiatrist. Lakini nimekuletea wewe ndo babangu. Your 10,000. Your pastor takes it and goes. Should I say it? Acha tukunywe maji. You've modeled God into your own image. You think God wants your money? Nah. He's not interested. He's just saying, God, you know me better. Where? Cheza na Mungu bana. God is inside you. God is inside you. Nothing from outside is coming to change your situation. You will speak in tongues until you bite that tongue. And you know the tongue is an organ meat. You will bite that tongue and swallow it. Anyway, let's go on. Who is this? Somebody with this business name. Hello, Shivan. Shivan, are you there?
Hi, Daktari. How are you?
All is well. How are you?
Yes, I'm here. All is well.
Amazing. Talk to us. What is your name?
Here is my story. Mercy Shivan.
Mercy Shivan. Take us to your story, Mercy. Mercy Shivan. Hey, Mercy Shivan.
Yeah, so I've been brought up by a single mom. And also my younger we are siblings, but with two different dads.
Yes.
So when my mom got married to my this other dad.
Okay, so you have another father.
He's living with my grandma.
So let's call him a stepfather. So you have a stepfather.
Yes, I have another father, but Yes, I have a stepfather, but they are not together with my mom.
Okay.
My mom is still single. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes. So my dad is there.
Okay.
Pardon?
So what? First of all, you said your mother and your father, they separated.
They separated when I was still young.
Okay, and then your mother ended up bringing in another man.
She got married again.
Okay.
But still got separated again.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
For me, I came to my first encounter with my dad was after Form 4. I was 18 years.
Yes.
Because that is when my grandma, like Amaluya, my grandma told my mom that for me, because I'm getting older, I need to know my roots.
Yes.
So she did it shingo pande, like taking me to my dad's place.
Yeah.
And then I got to reconnect with my dad, but I've never told him about me resenting him.
Yes.
So, yes. So the problem is my siblings, the twins who are behind me, are twins,
Okay.
Me and a girl. And in Luya, a boy is not supposed to be circumcised at mom's place.
Yes.
So that brought issues with the dad. Now wakawakata.
Okay.
So my siblings, the twins, wako kwa kina mom.
Yes.
At my grandma's place. Now the boy and the twins wanted to go and know where they come from, but my mom hataki.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is a big deal because she doesn't want, she tells them, mimi ndio niliwazaa, mimi ndio nimewalea peke yangu.
Yeah.
Now mnataka mtu mwenye hajakuwa kwa maisha yenu, so it becomes difficult for them to go and know where they come from.
There goes the manipulative instincts of every single woman out here. They will try to make sure that these children do not ask these questions because they want to manipulate them and control them and destroy these children by imposing their false identities in them. Now understand this, Shivana. You don't have any role to play in terms of trying to fix your brothers and sisters. Those twins, you don't have any role to play there. They will have to just find their way out. And I hope one day they can actually forgive their mothers and overcome your mother and move on. But I'll tell you this for free. So because it's you who is here, I'll try to fix you a little bit. And then you can fix yourself. The reality is this. Your mother was an evil woman. And the reality is she was born in the nature of evil. It's not her fault. We cannot judge her. She was born in the nature of evil. She became so evil. She became angry and chaotic. And she kept on attracting males who are weak. They could not provide for her. They kept on running away from her because they could not stand her. But the reality is this. She became so evil to an extent that she did not love you or love your other siblings. And the reason is, the moment she was left or she separated from your father, your biological father, she should have never entertained another man or gotten married to another man, because you see, this moment in time is when you needed her love the most. But what she decided is, she actually put your demands aside, and her ego allowed her to actually go and get into the dating pool. The problem is she did not fix herself before getting into this other relationship. So she attracted another weak male in a different body. Now I know you did not like that. That's the reason why you resent her, because she did not give you the attention that you deserved. And now that's where the problem comes in. Now you resented her. You became just like her because you're angry at her and you're judging her, and you need to overcome that. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
Do you have a child?
No.
Amazing. Now, before you become a single parent just like her, please go and face her, overcome her. Go and face her and tell her, you know what, I have resented you for the longest period of time, and I don't like resenting you. I realize that it's not right for me to resent you. I know you had no control over this, and it's wrong for me to actually resent you for this. I apologize. Make it very short. Just tell her, you know what, I've been resenting you for the longest period of time, and now that I realize you couldn't help yourself, I apologize. Okay? Once you say that, because do you have anger?
Yes, I do. I get angry so fast.
Yeah. And what is the worst thing you've done when you're angry?
had a thought of just taking my life because like I'm in this world, nateseka because of nothing. I feel there is no need for me to be in this world.
That makes sense to me totally. It makes sense 100% because you see the anger inside you is actually guiding you and is controlling you. And this anger is not you. You're not born with anger. You deserve better. But you must pay a price. You must forgive so that God forgives you. You must stop judging your mother for what she did that actually made you become this angry. Simply go and face her. Do not make even a call. Just go and face her. Create a time, go and face her and tell her, you know what, I've been resenting you for the longest period of time and I'm tired of that. I apologize. Once you say that, remember your mother is an evil woman even now. She's still suffering in her own hell because if she had seen light, she would actually be the one apologizing to you. But because she has not done that yet, it means she's still in her own hell. So she's suffering. So go there and overcome her nature by forgiving her. And then, is your biological father still alive?
Yes, he's still alive. I talked to him. I asked him about it, and he says he was not given a chance to be in my life.
Fathers will never lie to you. I'm telling you the truth because fathers don't hate their children. Fathers love their children. And you see, for you, you have been blocked from the reality by your mother's hate towards your father. So your mother hates you because she sees your father inside you. So now for you to actually overcome that, just overcome your mother. And as you talk to your father, make sure that relationship is perfect. And do not be surprised that one of these days, your mother can actually tell you that you're actually having an intimate relationship with your father. They say these things, these mean things. They say it. So simply go and overcome your mother and then go and face your father and tell him, you know what, I wanted you to be there, but I understand that you wouldn't. It was beyond you to actually be there for us. So I also apologize for resenting you, thinking that you did not want to be there for us. Okay? Once you do that, you will overcome the spirit of your father. You will have his identity. Remember, you will not pick up his weaknesses. You will reconnect with his spirit, and through that, you will have your own identity. Now, God will reveal things to you through that identity. And guess what? Immediately you overcome your mother, you start having perfect peace. You start seeing things in a very good dimension. You start realizing your anger is going off. Okay, and then once you've done that, overcome your father. But remember, when you get this identity, that's the time the devil wakes up. He wants to test you even further. So what do? Stick in prayer. Do a silent prayer in the morning and in the evening, and always stay present. If your mind starts taking you into the future, do not bring it back to present. If your mind takes you to the past, please know that that's the devil trying to control you through your own imagination. He will destroy you through your imagination. So allow yourself to always stay present, stick to present, stick in prayer, and go and overcome these people. Once you do that, you will see the bigger picture. You will love it.
Okay.
But understand there's a price that you must pay, and that price involves you forgiving your mother and your father. Yes, ask the other question.
As you say, we attract who we are.
Yes.
I attracted a man who is in the same situation.
Yes.
Like his mom, he has a stepdad and the biological dad.
Yes.
So the parents are really fighting.
Yeah.
Because the biological dad says, this is my son. And also the stepdad says, this is the son I raised.
Oh.
So, imefika mahali pa kujenga.
Yeah.
Anasema baba yake mzazi hataki ajenge kwa huyu stepdad.
Yeah.
Because he has raised him and also he took him to school. So and again when he talks to the biological dad, he comes again and manipulates the mom. Kumwambia hawezi ni tawanyisha na mtoto wangu. So I told him it's good to not to hate, but he says hawataki wote.
Okay.
He wants to be away from them.
Amazing. Now, this is your current man, right? Is he your current man or the man you dated before?
Current.
So I'll tell you this for free. You attracted who you are. That's very true, and you can easily see it. And the reason why you attracted who you are is because you did not have an identity. You were full of resentment. And you see, you attracted a man who was actually running away from his mother and his father, the chaos in their family. He is traumatized. So he thought that you are actually coming in to actually make him feel complete and feel at home. He is messed up. I'm telling you this for free. So the reality is, until he fixes himself, and trust me, if he ends up fixing himself, he might drop you. That's the sad reality, because he will attract people who actually vibrate on his wavelength. So at this moment in time, all of you, the two of you are using each other to actually feel comfortable. So the best thing you guys can actually do is to go and fix each other. No, not fix each other. Go and fix yourselves. Like, you do not even focus on your man. You go and fix yourself by overcoming your mother and overcoming your father. When you have that identity, trust me, you might end up attracting another man who is not him, because you now attract a man who has an identity, who can provide for you. But at this moment in time, you might end up suffering from thinking that you're actually finding love, yet you're just running away from your parents, and you end up getting the same man in a different body. So you're thinking this is the best man because, oh, you know, he loves me. But believe me, hapa mbele, it will change. Because he doesn't have an identity. He's not fixed himself, so he doesn't understand the order of God. He comes from a very, very messed up family, so he doesn't have a role model in terms of a father figure. So he must fix himself by overcoming his parents before thinking of any relationship. Until that happens, it will be chaos after chaos. And you people will end up hurting each other so deeply.
Okay.
Umenielewa? Yeah, so go fix yourself by getting your identity, and through getting your own identity, God will reveal to you on what you should do. Don't even worry about the relationship. Don't worry about anything else. You just stay present. Go fix yourself. If God decides that this is your man, he will be. If he doesn't, he will not be. And again, we will keep on moving on, because when you fix yourself, you will not have any anger. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Amazing. It's nice to have you here, and thank you for sharing your story. This is just amazing and inspiring. Thank you. Shivan? When I tell you most of us resent our parents without even knowing, you guys think I'm joking. But you see, at least there are people who actually understand that they actually resent their parents. And you see, that is not this show that actually tells them to do that. This is actually the Spirit of God that actually opens up their mind, because nobody wants to be angry. Nobody loves being angry. They don't. They want to overcome that spirit of evil and that spirit of anger, because they don't love being angry. They are not. It's unnatural to be angry. When you get tired of this, that's when God manifests himself. Because he's inside you, he's in your heart. The Spirit of God is inside you. He will just reveal himself to you. He will show you what to do. You will seek help. And once you're seeking help, you're getting help. Shivan, I hope you can actually get your help by overcoming the anger that comes from your mother, the anger that comes from your father. You overcome their false identities. And once you do that, you will see a bigger picture. You will have perfect peace. You will not even care about anything else. Oh, you will have perfect peace. It is the best place to be. Imagine living life without anger. Imagine living life like somebody just offended you here and you just act like nothing happened. And you're not acting. It's just the Spirit of God is actually protecting you and shielding you from the nature of evil that's coming from people. 99.1% of people are evil. But they will always defend the nature of evil by saying, you know what, I am human. 99% of our parents are evil. They did not know God. They are suffering in their own hell, but they want us to stay in hell with them. That's why they are always playing the victim mode. They are always trying to control you. Do not allow that. But who creates evil? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. If you're a Christian, you know very well that the man had a perfect relationship with the Father. The man had a perfect relationship with the Father. And God was so intentional about the evil nature. So what he did, he brought in a woman to continue with this creation. He knew what he was doing. But he knew that this will become the weakness to this gentleman. And imagine the only thing Adam would have done is to ask for forgiveness from his father, because he was getting instructions from his father and he did right. He had the spirit of good. And now when the woman came in, and then the woman, because of her weakness and her emotions, imagine the serpent did not even know that God had warned them against a certain tree. He did not know. So first of all, he detached the woman from the man, took the woman for a trip, showed the woman around. And because of the emotional nature of the woman, she decided to listen to the to the serpent. And now she opened up. She told the serpent, you know what? Hey, I'm relating to your stories. And you know, my husband has been telling me that, at that time they were not husbands, right? This guy has been telling me that his father warned him against eating this tree. Oh, and this guy was now getting ideas. He was like, oh, really? Why this tree and not others? Why this tree? You know, these are trees. These are fruits. You're supposed to enjoy. You are the one who lives here in Eden. You're supposed to enjoy these trees. And the woman was like, oh, really? Hey, you know, if you eat a fruit from this one, you will actually become so powerful. He doesn't want you to continue with, to be, you actually have a very big brain. Imagine your man has been naming all these animals without any help. So if he eats this fruit, he's going to become a superman. You guys are going to become your own gods. And the woman got into that trap. And now look at it this way. The woman came and shared this story with this gentleman. But the ideal situation is when the gentleman turned from his father and listened to the advice that was coming from the woman and acted upon that advice, that's where things went south. Now listen, he was turned against his father. He started listening to a god, and he got so blinded that he did not even ask his woman, where are you getting these instructions from? Because I'm the one who is passing instructions to you. He did not have the courage to ask the woman, where did you get these instructions from? Imagine that. So you see where the evil came from? So the evil came from the ground into the woman, and the woman turned the man against his father, and that's how evil came. But through that evil, God continued with his generation, with his creation. That's how we ended up here. And therefore the man, the only thing the man would have actually done to reconnect back with his spiritual father was to forgive. Tell God, you know what, I've owned up, I listened to her, and I should not have done that, because it's you who gives me instructions so that I can actually give to her. But now I listened to her and I followed her instructions. I failed to listen to you. Therefore, please forgive me. The only prize was forgiveness. And of course, God is not an emotional God. He would have forgiven him. Anyway, let's move. So we are here suffering from things that would have actually changed if this guy would have actually asked for forgiveness. So the price that you have to pay is to actually come back. Forgive those who you resent, because those that you resent, you become just like them. You suffer just like them. You end up attracting people who are just like them. And it's only fair that you forgive so that God forgives you. He actually says it. Forgive in the prayer. He says, forgive so that I can actually forgive you. Yes, who is this? This is Wangare. I suppose this is Lois. Wangare, how are you?
Hello, Doc. I'm good.
You're the last person I'm talking to. Are you there? How are you? How? Bad things are already happening. It's not about the prayer. It's because you have never overcome the spirit of evil inside you, and now you're making a prayer to the evil. And then you keep thinking that as I make the prayer to the evil, God is supposed to respond to me. God is not an emotional God. He's not going to respond to you just because you prayed. No. You must show him that you really need him to come through. And you show him that by overcoming the spirit of evil and overcoming the anger in you by forgiving those that you resent, and specifically your mother and your father. Doc, remember the topic you talk, Engineer Gashoy, Doc, remember these topics you talk to all kinds. I know. But what do you mean, Engineer? You come in and have a conversation. That's what I want. That's what I advocate for. Come in and have a conversation. I want to know that. I got a little bit mixed up when my YouTube disappeared. But I want you to come in and say, because I've seen you commenting on the post, and you're saying I'm mixing things up, and I would like you to come in and have a conversation with me. We want to talk to you. So kindly come in. It's only fair that you come in, Engineer. You have a big title, don't be afraid. Who is this? Maureen. Oh, it's back?
Yes, hello. Is it still noisy?
No, it's a little bit fair. Oh, my YouTube is back. Amazing. Now I can focus. Yes, Maureen, talk to me.
Okay, so I have the same problem as Wangare. I'm so angry, and I don't know like where the anger is coming from.
Why are you angry?
I really don't know. I can't explain, and I always lash out on my daughter just the same as Wangare.
Okay, how old is your daughter?
She's 9.
Oh, so when what makes you get angry at her? You just get yourself getting angry at her.
when she does things that I think is not right, that's when I get angry at her.
Things that are not right according to who?
According to me.
And that's why
like the other day,
yes,
I sent her to the supermarket. I know she's young, yeah.
Yeah.
But so she went with a friend.
Okay.
And when they were at the supermarket, I didn't know that she went with a friend.
Yes.
Then she ended up paying the bill for her friend.
Yes.
And then when she came back, I don't know, I just got so angry. I regretted it later when it had already happened. Yeah.
But don't you think your daughter was just being human? She was just operating on the common sense lane. That this is my friend and it's only fair that we share this, and she decided to actually pay off the bill. There's a lot of noise from your background. She decided to pay off the bill. So it's not like your daughter got you angry. It's just that you have anger inside you, and your daughter gave you a chance to actually exercise that anger.
I know.
You get that? Inside you, there's the anger, but your daughter gave you a chance to exercise the anger. So therefore, it's you to actually fix your anger by overcoming those people that you resent. Do you have a perfect relationship with your father?
No, I don't have a relationship with my dad. Like we don't even talk much.
Okay, is he alive?
He's alive, yes.
And what is the relationship between you and your mother?
My mom, we speak every day.
Okay, so you have a good relationship with your mother, but a bad relationship with your father.
Yes.
And why is that?
And I really don't know, but during Christmas, I was actually at home and I wanted to forgive my dad, but I couldn't. I don't know why.
Yeah, the devil blocked you from doing that because he sold you the fear. The devil blocked you. It's not you. It's the devil. And between your mother and your father. Have you ever asked that question?
Okay, my dad is I've not asked, yeah, but my dad is an alcoholic. Like he drinks a lot and he comes home late.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was the relationship.
Do you drink alcohol?
I used to, but not anymore.
Okay. And do you sometimes see your mother in you?
I don't know because I think I have a relationship with my mom, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like
because your father was not present, your mother.
So even when you say that I should.
Yes, just continue.
When you say that I should forgive my mom,
yeah,
I'm finding it hard to see like what am I forgiving her for, because I according to me I have a relationship with her, like we are in good terms.
What do you mean in good terms? Just because you talk that you think that's good terms?
Yeah.
Who taught you anger? Who do you think taught you anger?
Okay, I'm finding it hard to see like it's my mom who taught me anger, because I don't know. I think I have a good relationship with her, so that's why I'm finding it hard like to go and say something to her like I'm forgiving you and all that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who is teaching your daughter anger?
It's definitely me.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So what makes you think that you have a perfect relationship with your mother, yet you have anger? Because if your mother was a righteous woman,
I'm trying to understand like what makes me think.
Yes, because if your mother was a righteous woman and understood the nature of God, one, she should have never broken up with your father, because a child deserves to be raised by both parents. Number two, she has remodeled you into her own image, and that's why you're so angry. Are they together?
They have not broken up. They're still together. Yeah, they're still together.
So then how comes you have a perfect relationship with your mother and not your father, and they are still together? Is it because your father drinks alcohol and comes back home drunk?
I think so, yeah.
And would you want your daughter to resent you for something, for the evil things that you've done before in your past?
No, I don't want that.
So then why do you resent your father? If you know God, you already know that your father is in a fallen state. So you can't.
Did you say something?
I was asking, why do you resent your father then? If you wouldn't want your daughter to resent you for the things that you've done before, or the evil things that you've done before, why do you resent your father because he drinks alcohol?
I don't know. I don't know why I resent him.
And then you are saying that you have a perfect relationship with your mother, but you don't know why.
I find it so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I find it so hard to call my dad, because I'm thinking, why does he not call me?
But that is ego. Your father does not need to call you, and you don't need, and you don't also need to call your father. It doesn't make sense. All you need is your identity, and you see you have false identities. That's why you're resenting your father, because you think, oh, you know, this one is a drunkard, and this one does not call me, he's not responsible. You're making opinions of him, and that is not right. That is in a fallen state. At this moment in time, you understand that whatever your father is doing, he's not even responsible for it. He's in a fallen state, and he has no control over what is happening to him. So your only role is to go and get your identity from them. Because resenting your father will just make it worse for you. Your father is your earthly representation of God. Whether he's a drunkard or not, you must reconnect with this identity for you to actually see the revelations and have perfect peace. So why don't you consider getting to forgive your mother to overcome her and forgive your father to overcome him? You're thinking that I can't forgive my mother because there's nothing she has done, right?
Yes.
But you have anger. So where did the anger come from? Anger came from your mother resenting your father because he's a weak man. Because anger is taught to children by parents, and there is a role of a father in a family. The role of a father is to protect the children from the emotions and anger that is coming from their mothers. And if the fathers are absent and weak, their mothers resent them, they become angry, and they convert this anger into the children. They teach their children anger, they teach their children to resent their biological fathers with their own hatred. And that's what you're suffering from. Now you have anger, but you don't know where the anger is coming from. But you already see the bigger picture, that the anger is coming from somebody who was angry at your father because he was a weak man.
Okay.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. Not like, but not like legally married. Married in quotes.
Okay. Why married in quotes?
Can we stay?
Were you running away from the chaos that were happening home, and you thought this man is going to actually give you the peace?
Yes.
Does he drink alcohol?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Do you respect him and submit to him?
I think I do now. I didn't used to.
Is that a no? Yeah? Do you respect and submit to him?
I think I do. Let me just say that.
Do you guys share bills?
We do, but he takes care of the better part of it.
Why not everything?
Because of the economy, I guess.
Anyway, I had to bring this to you, but the reality is this. The reason why you don't see why you resent your mother is because the devil lies to you that you love your mother. In your head, you're in your imagination. Somebody taught you anger, somebody taught you hate. You are not born with hate. As a child, you did not understand, you did not know hate, you did not know anger. So somebody taught this to you. And anger is taught by being imposed to a false identity from our mothers. It is a role of our fathers to protect us from that identity that is coming from our mothers, the anger, the emotions. Because women are the emotional creatures. Men are not emotional. They're supposed to be, the emotions are supposed to be on the ground. So because because your father was not present to actually protect you from the emotions that were coming from your mother, you ended up attracting the identity of your mother. That's why you relate with her. You cannot see a problem with what is happening to you, but I see a problem in the anger. And you see, the same way you're teaching your child anger is the same way you are taught anger. Now your child will become very angry and she will not even blame you for that. But at this moment in time, what you need to do, because if at all you wanted to forgive your father and you became scared, why did you find the need to actually forgive your father? If at all, hey, you kelele boy. There's a lot of noise from your background. Maureen, are you there?
Just mute and listen to. Yeah, I'm still here. Let me just mute and listen to you.
Please.
Okay.
So this is the reality, Maureen, and I hope you can actually do that. You can actually change your life through this. One, you are born with no hate. It is unnatural for a human being to have hate. You are born with love. You are born with the spirit of light. But somewhere, somehow, you fell from that path into the nature of evil. And that nature of evil was not your choice. You are taught these things. So somebody taught you anger. And apparently in a family, the role model is supposed to be a father, because the father is the home of love. Because love flows from the father, from God to the father, from the father to the mother, and from the mother to the children. So if there is no love, if there is no God, if the father does not know God, there is no love in that family. This is how we end up starting to share the bills, because we don't know that a man is supposed to provide exclusively. That's how our parents started sharing bills. So you've suffered that consequence, and you see your mother was angry at your father because your father was a weak man. You can easily see he drinks alcohol, comes back home angry, and sometimes shouts at your mother and all those things, and you're exposed to that. And now, of course, it was only right that you side with your mother. That's why you resent your father. You side with the mother because you think your father is the one who is the evil one here. But of course, at this moment in time, you're supposed to understand that your father is in a fallen state. So whatever he's doing is not under his control. He can do nothing about it, because it's the spirit that lives in him that controls him to do whatever he's doing. So is your mother. But the reality is this: for you to actually get perfect peace and overcome the anger that is inside you, you must overcome the people that actually taught you anger, the people that imposed a false identity in you. And the major person here has to be your mother, because she's the one who raised you. She's the one who is closer to you, and she has actually remodeled you into her own image. That's the reason why you can't see her as an evil person. That's why you can't see the wrongs that you've done to her, because you're just a mini her. You're a mini version of who she is. So you can't see her faults. And until somebody from outside can actually see that, you will not see the bigger picture. So the anger is actually taught to you. It was taught to you by somebody. And this is a person who was angry at the other partner. That's your father. Now, the reason why you need to overcome your mother is you want to get off the anger so that you actually know how to raise your daughter. At this moment in time, you're just converting your daughter into a mini you. She'll become angry and chaotic just like you, and just like you became your mother. So you need to overcome your mother, and then you overcome your father. And overcoming them means you must face them and forgive them for actually being weak and not being there for you. A child is supposed to be raised in a family of two, and these two are supposed to be responsible and act as the first role models to this child. But because your father was weak and your mother became angry at that, there was no love in that family. You ended up adapting the spirit of evil. You have anger, and now you're pushing that into your daughter. Overcome that by forgiving your mother. Overcome that by forgiving your father. First of all, you must understand that they did not do it because they wanted to do it. They did it because they were in a fallen state, and because you can see it better, simply go and overcome them. Do not judge them. Forgive them to overcome them. Once you do that, you will have your own spirit back. You will have the anger gone, because God will take off that spirit of anger. Once He takes off the spirit of anger, you will see the bigger picture. You will get the revelations on how to raise your daughter. You will not shout at your daughter anymore. And I'm telling you this for free because I want you to get better. Now, the devil is the one that is actually telling you to keep on fighting. Do not even go and forgive your mother. You don't have an identity of your mother. Your father is the one who is the evil one. Oh, you know what? This anger is coming from nowhere. It's something else that is actually triggering me. Nothing can trigger you, because nothing has control over your emotions. It is you who has control over your emotions. And anger is inside you, and your daughter just gives you a chance to exercise that anger. Even without your daughter, you'll still exercise that anger with somebody else. So go and overcome these people so that you get to overcome the anger, and through that you will have the spirit of good. It will guide you through. It will protect you against the evil nature of anybody else. And before you do that, and if you don't do that, you will suffer the consequences. You keep on defending that anger and defending that spirit of evil. So go and overcome it and see what happens. Stay present. Work with the present. Go and overcome it and just see what happens. So walk through it. End your life. Just end it. Maureen, have you heard me?
Yes, I have heard you.